If there are no objections, we dispense with the reading of the July 8, 2026 Journal of the Senate sitting as an impeachment court and consider the same as approved. The clerk will please call the case before the impeachment court.
Case number 004-2026 in the matter of the impeachment trial of Vice President Sara Duterte.
Appearances?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Same appearance for the prosecution. We are ready, Your Honor.
Noted. Appearances for the counsel for the respondent?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Same appearance for the respondent accused.
Noted. Prosecution, call your next witness.
Your Honors, before we...
Senator Raffy Tulfo is seeking recognition. What is the pleasure of Senator Judge Raffy Tulfo?
Thank you, Presiding Judge Scudero. Short inquiry lang po for the defense, particularly kay Attorney Mark Biduan. Attorney Binuan. During the last hearing, when you delivered a manifestation in reply to the prosecution's statement regarding the fourth article of impeachment, you said, and I quote, "The truth of the matter is this. She and her family were threatened, and while her response was unconventional, it was justified." What triggered her response was a question about Operation Romanov, which is the plot to eliminate VP Sara and her family. End of quote. Now, Attorney Binuan, this Operation Romanov that you mentioned, are you referring to the Operation Romanov mentioned by the blogger Princess Maui during the online press conference of VP Sara?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So the question was raised during the press con by this Princess Maui, but I did not see her name, a list of defense witnesses in the pretrial order. So will you be presenting her as your witness?
Your Honor, at this point, it will depend on what will be established by the prosecution. The defense reserve its right to call or not call any witness depending on the course of the trial.
Oh, I see. Okay. So, in other words, will you also be presenting any other witness to prove this threat or this Operation Romanov?
Yes, Your Honor, that will be part of our evidence in chief.
May this court know now kung sino-sino itong mga witnesses na inyo present?
Of course, Your Honor. We are not at liberty to disclose that at this time. Again, it will depend on the course of the trial.
Your Honors, Presiding Judge, the first time I've heard about this Romanov is during the Maisog Leaders Forum in Davao City. That was on January 28, 2024. Correct me if I'm wrong. It was mentioned by Mayor Baste Duterte. At that time, hindi ko alam anong ibig sabihin ng Romanov at sino mga ito. In fact, ginugil ko yan. Sino itong family Romanov? So napag-alaman ko, apparently, they were the ruling family in Russia that was murdered by the Bolsheviks in the night of July 16, 1918. Malapit-lapit na sa anniversary, 108th anniversary. Kasi ano pa tayo nga, July 13. Anyway, may relasyon ba ito sa binanggit ni Baste sa sinabi ni Princess Maui at yung binanggit mo? Nakakarelasyon ba yung tatlo?
Your Honor, I have no personal knowledge of what Mayor Baste said, so I cannot comment on that, Your Honor.
So hindi mo napanood yun? Hindi...
No, Your Honor.
Okay. And last question. What did you mean when you said that VP Sara's response was unconventional?
Your Honor, it was a description, Your Honor, of the statements that she made during that press conference.
Kaya why do you consider it, why is it unconventional?
Your Honor, the basic meaning of the word is, it will explain itself, Your Honor.
Okay. That's all, Presiding Judge. And
Noted and entered into the records. Yes, what is the pleasure of the Honorable Defensor, one of the members of the panel of prosecutors? You may proceed, sir.
Thank you, Your Honors. Your Honors, before we proceed with the examination of our second witness, Your Honors, the prosecution is in receipt of a letter dated July 10, 2026 from NBI Director Melvin A. Matibag requesting that his testimony be scheduled or calendared at the earliest setting, considering that the National Bureau of Investigation, Your Honors, has been invited by the Federal Bureau of Investigation in coordination with the Royal Thai Police for a regional summit on scam center compounds and transnational organized crime. In that regard, Your Honor, the prosecution would like to request that the scheduled testimony of NBI Director Melvin Matibag be scheduled tomorrow after the testimony of our second witness, Attorney Jeremy A. Lotto.
After the testimony of your second witness.
Yes, Your Honors.
But the supposed witness scheduled for tomorrow is Attorney Zuleika Lopez, per the gentleman's manifestation in the last hearing.
That's correct, Your Honor. After we have dispensed with the testimony of NBI Director Matibag, we can proceed with the schedule of witnesses as provided in the list to the senator judges last week, Your Honors.
To include Captain Bello, if I'm not
Yes,
mistaken?
we can proceed with Attorney Lopez and Captain Bello as manifested last week, Your Honors.
What is the pleasure of Senator Judge Cayetano, Alan?
Mr. Presiding Officer, if no one objects, I will not object to having Director Matibag yesterday, but maybe as a caution to government officials, my good friend, Congressman Defensor, I read over the weekend that Director Matibag is writing because he is to be in a convention meeting the FBI next week. So actually, we're going to be here 30 weeks. We have put aside many, many important things. We have put aside many foreign trips, many local trips, whether it's to help dun sa tinamaan ng lindol sa Mindanao or tinatamaan ng baha ngayon, because we have to be here 2 o'clock until matapos tayo every Monday to Wednesday, then after the SONA every Tuesday to Wednesday. I find it in bad taste that a bureau head will dictate to us that he's not available next week. I was Secretary of Foreign Affairs. That's why you have undersecretaries. That's why you have deputy director. So I mean, I admire the patience of the prosecution, no? But even the prosecution, they have a way of timing and laying down the witnesses. So I don't want later on to say na dapat natanong ko muna to sa unang witness, kaya lang si Director Matibag inuna dahil ganito, ganyan. No, so I'd like to put that on the record and ask my colleague if that's acceptable to us. I mean, yung 20, well, at least those who are not in jail or the 21 of us are here. The whole government nakatutok. We put aside so many important things. And then one witness who is in the government, who is a bureau head, will tell us sorry, but because he has to be with the FBI, siya na yung mauna tomorrow. That might be a bad precedent, Mr. Presiding Officer.
May I be allowed to give a
The
reply, Your
gentleman will
Honor?
please respond to the point of Senator Judge Alan Cayetano.
With due respect to the Honorable Senator Judge Alan Peter Cayetano, we will always respect the decision of the Honorable Court. However, we will only be advancing his testimony one day based on the subpoena that we have requested the Honorable Court. He is scheduled to testify until Wednesday, and that we will not disrupt the scheduled list of witnesses. We will simply advance it one day, Your Honor.
With due respect, Congressman, Representative Defensor, I asked that question poignantly last week. If Matibag will be one of your witnesses for this week, and you said no. In fact, you corrected Attorney Ligutan when you mentioned Director Matibag as one of your witnesses, and instead gave me a list of Lotok, Zuleika Lopez, and Captain Bello. Matibag was not included. In fact, I don't think we issued a subpoena for Director Matibag for this week, given your manifestation after you took over, given that you have, as you said, control and supervision over the counsel for the prosecutors. So he's not in your list this week. He's not being advanced for a day, sir.
May I respond, Your Honor?
Please so.
Your
Please
Honor,
do so,
that's
sir.
correct. I gave a list of witnesses scheduled for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. However, Your Honor, to add, I also added that since NBI Director Matibag has been requested for a subpoena to testify within the week, I also added in my statement that we will inform the Honorable Court which day we can present the Honorable Matibag, and I was expecting him to be presented on one Wednesday after the testimony of Captain Belinda Bello, Your Honors.
I confirm that, but the situation is, given the one witness per day rule that we supposedly have under the rules of court, no subpoena has yet been issued to Director Matibag to appear this week. Can the clerk of court kindly confirm that for us on the record?
No subpoena has been issued for NBI Director Matibag.
May I
For this
respond?
week,
May I respond, Your Honor?
Senator Judge Alan Cayetano is recognized.
Actually, my statement and my question to the court is not really addressed to the prosecution. You will have to do the best you can to represent, what you're fighting for. No, so I commend you for adjusting. But my recollection is because I'm also waiting for his testimony, and my recollection last week he said that we will not see him this week, and I think 11 days. No, 11 days ang.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Sa article na to, so we're on day 4. So kung hindi siya pwedeng next week, that's day 7, 8, 9. Again, I don't want to dictate sa prosecution or ano, but to suddenly say na tomorrow na siya, when I'm preparing for our oral argument tomorrow and the other witnesses, is a little bit, it's a small inconvenience for today. But I hope it doesn't become a rule, especially for a bureau head. I mean, if no one else objects, but if someone objects, I don't think it's really a good rule. Rules are important. I'll have to keep, you say technicalities, and no, rules are important. So even yung notice, we agreed on, presiding officer, 3-day ba? 5-day notice.
5 days for witnesses not mentioned in the pretrial order.
And then 3 days kapag
3 days, given the fact that we will be announcing the witnesses for the following
Yes.
week on the last day.
Yeah, and I said my piece, but I hope we will not be able to move faster if we have to accommodate the witnesses, especially if they're in government.
May I add something, Your Honors,
before
we...
the honorable defensor, presiding officer would like to hear from the counsel for the respondents. Attorney Binlon, what say you?
Yes, Your Honor. We would have to oppose on the basis of the following. Number one, it will be in violation, Your Honor, of the impeachment court's directive that was given last week, insofar as the identities of the witnesses and as well as the order of the presentation. Number two, Your Honor, it will be, again, as mentioned by Senator Judge Cayetano, a violation of the 5-day notice rule. Since while he was subpoenaed the week before, Your Honor, we are learning that he will be presented this week. So the 5-day notice will not be observed. Number three, the prosecution cannot compel also the defense and this impeachment court to present witnesses according to their schedule, considering also that these witnesses have already been identified and determined. Of course, it will be a violation of the basic tenets of fair play. And to join again the manifestation of Senator Judge Cayetano, it will set a bad precedent insofar as surprise witnesses will be allowed at any point of the proceedings. Number five would be, it will also violate our right to cross-examine intelligently. We have done our best to prepare for their witnesses. However, these last-minute changes really affect the preparation involved, Your Honor, and insofar as laying down the case that we want to establish. And finally, if there are violations of these preceding rights, there will be a violation of procedural due process, which of course can give way to another ground to further delay the proceedings. Moreover, Your Honor, we would, if the prosecution would also allow, can we also get a copy, Your Honor, of that invitation, and maybe inquire of the prosecution if at the particular travel authority has already been made? Because Your Honor, we received information as well that the FBI had already conducted a summit, a regional summit of some sort, but it was conducted in other words, last month, Your Honor, also in Bangkok, Thailand. So we would have to, again, manifest and we would have to study, Your Honor, the invitation and counter-check and do the proper verification as well. So that if it is indeed viable, then we would understand, Your Honor, why it has to be attended to by Director Matibag, Your Honor.
Senate President Gatchalian is recognized. You may proceed, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer. Sinusuportahan ko po yung statement ni Senator Judge Alan Cayetano dahil hindi lang naman po yung counsels ng prosecution at defense ang naghahanda, pati mo mga senator judges naghahanda rin. At sa totoo lang ho, itong weekend, marami rin sa ating mga senator judges ay pinag-aaralan kung ano yung kanilang maitatanong sa mga testigong ihaharap ho ngayong linggo. Marami po ay pinag-aralan po yung mga ebidensyang in-upload na ho para po sa ating mga senator judges. At hindi ho ito konting ebidensya, pinag-uusapan ho natin dito. Libo-libong mga papel at libo-libong mga ebidensya. Kaya kung bigla pong may isisingit na testigo, hindi ho rin makakahanda po yung ating mga senator judges sa kanilang pagtatanong at hindi rin ho nilang mababasa yung mga dokumento at ebidensya na nakakabit ho doon sa testigong iharap. Kaya napakahirap naman po na naghahanda ho tayo pero biglang may mga ganitong suppression na hindi ho natin paghahandaan at hindi naman ho yan magiging maayos at patas para po sa ating mga senator judges. Maraming salamat po.
For the record, Chair would like to confirm the statement of the Honorable Defensor. I will quote, Presiding Officer, quote, so Director Matibag is not yet going to be presented next week. Representative Defensor, not yet, Your Honor. We will manifest on Monday. If we can consider him for the Wednesday session, depending on how the trial goes and how long the testimonies will take for both parties. With the permission of Senators, Senator Judge Cayetano and the Senate President, may we defer our ruling on this matter and ask the counsel for the prosecution to submit to us the letter given to you by Director Matibag for us to be able to look at it, copy furnished, of course, the counsel for the respondent, so that we can adequately go over it and hopefully come up with a ruling before the day is over.
We submit,
would that
Your
be
Honor.
possible?
We will submit the letter.
Thank you, Your Honor. So we shall do it that way. Kindly furnish a copy to the counsel for the respondents as well for their review.
Yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor,
Counsel for respondent, Attorney Binluen's
Your Honor,
manifestation
if the travel authority is also available, if we can ask
If
for
the-
a travel authority, if it's already issued.
yes, of course. Kindly furnish us that as well.
Your Honors, we will submit in good faith whatever the prosecution has received from Director Matibag, Your Honor.
As well as
Kindly communicate with him if possible, if he already has a travel authority for the same, so that we could evaluate it based on what you have. We
Yes,
cannot
Your Honor.
evaluate it based on what you don't have, so we will presume if you don't have it, It's not yet there.
Your Honor,
Yes,
one last
Attorney
addition. Considering that there's if and when they provide the travel authority, I understand, Your Honor, that one of the requirements is also the official invitation from the foreign body. So if they can also provide that, Your Honor,
Well-
so that we can do a full review of this matter.
Attorney Binlon, it's not really for the full review of the counsel for the prosecution, but rather for this court's evaluation, whether or not to allow the motion of the counsel panel of prosecutors. But everything that will be submitted to us, you will be furnished with a copy.
We will
so that you
submit
can argue your way through this motion before we decide on it. So ordered. Counsel for the panel of prosecutors, kindly call your next witness.
Your Honors, I respectfully request that the counsel for the panel of House prosecutors, Attorney Virgil Ligutan, be recognized for the presentation of our second witness.
Attorney Ligutan, counsel for the prosecutors, is recognized to present the prosecution's second witness. You may proceed, sir.
Mayong hapon sa atong tanan, the second witness for the prosecution is no other than Attorney Jeremy C. Lotok, Your Honor, please. We call to the witness stand Attorney Lotok.
Kindly situate Attorney Lotok to the witness stand. Attorney Lotok, please remain standing as the clerk of court administers the oath. So far as the prosecution's second witness is concerned. Clerk of court is recognized.
Please raise your right hand. You, Jeremy C. Lotok,
I, Jeremy C. Lotto,
do swear
do swear
that the evidence you shall give
that the evidence that I will be giving
in the case now pending
in the case now pending
between the Philippines and Vice President Sara Zimmerman Duterte
between the Philippines and Vice President Sara Zimmerman Duterte
shall be the truth,
shall be the truth,
the whole truth,
the whole truth,
and nothing but the truth.
and nothing but the truth.
So help you God.
So help me God.
Your witness, counsel for the prosecutors.
Attorney Lotok, you may sit down.
Thank you, sir.
Your Honors, the testimony of our second witness, Attorney Jeremy C. Lotok, is offered to prove the following. Number one, Jeremy Lotok is a lawyer by profession, and he was the chief of the Cybercrime Division of the National Bureau of Investigation, or NBI, in 2024. Pangalawa, kasama siya sa NBI team na nagsagawa ng investigasyon sa mga pagbabanta ng Vice Presidente na ginawa sa isang online media briefing noong Nobyembre 23, taong 2024, kung saan diniklara ng Vice Presidente na siya ay kumontrata na ng isang tao para patayin ang Pangulo ng Republika ng Pilipinas, ang unang ginang at ang dating Speaker ng House of Representatives. Pangatlo, napag-alaman ng NBI na ang mga pagbabanta ng Vice Presidente ay seryoso at totoo. Matapos silang isaalang-alang ang mga sumusunod. Una, the manner of the respondent's delivery of the statement that she intended her remarks to be real and serious threats. She was not merely joking when she uttered those threats. Pangalawa, mga kababayan, even before that fateful press conference on November 23, 2024, bago yung press conference na yan, may nakontrata ng mamamatay tao yung Vice Presidente bago pa man ang press conference na yan. Pangatlo, ang utos ng Vice Presidente sa assassin na huwag siyang titigil hanggat hindi napapatay ang Pangulo ng Pilipinas, ang unang ginang at ang Speaker ng House of Representatives ay nagpapakita na ang Vice Presidente ay determinado at porsigido sa kanyang pagbabanta. Number 4, the result of the investigation and after determining that the respondents' threats are serious and real, led the NBI to file complaints for 3 counts of grave threats and 1 count of inciting to sedition. Number 5, this witness, Attorney Lotok, will identify and authenticate the affidavit of investigation, the annexes, as well as a couple of videos in relation to the NBI's investigation. And number 6 offer, he will also testify on such other matters as are relevant and material to the impeachment of the Vice President. Ready for comment, Your Honor, please.
Counsel for the respondent, Attorney Binduan.
Subject to cross, Your Honor.
Thank you so much.
Counsel for the prosecutor, may proceed.
Daghang salamat, Mr. Presiding Officer, Honorable Judges. Attorney Lotok,
Sir.
maupay nga kulop haibo.
Mapay nga kulupman, sir.
Waray-waray po. We are both waray-waray. At the same time, si Warren, Attorney Lotok, po pwede bang mas malapit pa sa microphone para marinig ng sambayanan lahat ng isasagot ko mo sa mga tanong ko? Okay?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Lotok, kindly state your name, edad, and other personal circumstances.
I am Attorney Jeremy C. Lotok, 50 years of age, and currently the Regional Director of the NBI Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao, sir.
Sinabi mo ikaw ay isang abogado, Attorney Lotok, di ba?
Opo.
Now, yung tanong, kailan ka naging membro ng ating Philippine Bar?
I was admitted to the Philippine Bar and took my lawyer's oath in 2013, sir.
2013. Now, Mr. Lotok, ano ba yung current position mo, occupation mo, kung meron man?
The Regional Director of the NBI Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao, sir.
Ikaw ay isang NBI Regional Director for BARM. Now, yung tanong is, how long have you been with the NBI?
I have been in the NBI for the past 12 years, sir.
12 years. No, tanong is, I think, based on my counting, that would be since 2014. Tama po ba?
Opo, Your Honor.
Now, kailan ka ba na-designate as the NBI Regional Director ng BARM?
I was designated in January this year as Regional Director of the NBI BARM, sir.
January 2026. Now, prior to your designation as the NBI Regional Director for BARM, ano ba yung previous position mo within NBI?
I was the Regional Director for Region 4B or Mimaropa, sir. I think July 2025.
July 2025 you became. Okay, now, prior to your designation as NBI Regional Director for Mimaropa, what was your previous position kung meron man?
I was the Chief of the NBI Cybercrime Division, Your Honor.
Chief ng NBI Cybercrime Division. Now, kailan ka? Kailan ka na-designate as Chief ng NBI Cybercrime Division?
I was designated in February 2023, sir.
2023, no? Now, sinabi mo ikaw ay naging Chief ng NBI Cybercrime Division. Now, yung tanong, Mr. Attorney Lotok, is what were your primary duties and functions bilang hepe ng NBI Cybercrime Division?
Primary duties, among others, to plan, direct, and supervise the investigation of cybercrime cases pursuant to Republic Act 10175 and other relevant laws. And part of my duties and responsibilities is to investigate high-profile cases pursuant to Republic Act 10867, specifically crimes committed by, through and with the use of information and communication technology, sir.
Now, Mr. Witness, of course, you are aware na ikaw ay tumitestigo sa impeachment trial ng respondent. Now, yung tanong is, kilala mo ba yung respondent sa kasong ito?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, yung tanong now is, why do you know her?
She is the incumbent Vice President of the Philippines, and she is the subject of the investigation by the NBI Cybercrime Division, Your Honor.
So, nasabi mo, she is the subject of an investigation ng NBI Cybercrime Division. Now, yung tanong, Attorney Lotok, is kailan ba? Kailan nagsimula yung investigation ng NBI Cybercrime Division on the respondent?
November 23, 2024, sir.
November 23, 2024. Yung tanong now, Attorney Lotok, is why? Why did the Cybercrime Division commence an investigation on the Vice President?
We were directed by the then Director Judge IBB Santiago to conduct an investigation with regard to a certain video involving an online press conference held on November 23, 2024, where the Vice President uttered that she had already contracted a person to kill the President, Lisa Marcos, and the former Speaker of the House, sir.
Now, yung tanong, Attorney Lotok, is sa pagkakaalam mo, or kung alam mo, ba't yung NBI, yung inatasang gumawa ng investigasyon na ito?
Well, under the law, specifically Republic Act 10867, the NBI has primary jurisdiction to undertake investigations on cases, among others, cases involving threats to security and assault against the persons of the highest officials, sir.
So, threats or assaults on or against highest officials, sabi mo, di ba? Now, yung tanong, Attorney Lotok, is, sino ba yung mga highest officials na kung may threat or may assault sa kanila, NBI has to do it, an investigation? Sino yung mga officials na ito?
Yes, Your Honor, they are the President, the Vice President, the Senate President, the Speaker of the House, and the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, sir.
All right. Now, so you mentioned Presidente, Vice President, tsaka yung iba pa. Now, you mentioned, Attorney Lotok, that the NBI conducted an investigation on the respondents' statements during an online media briefing on November 23, 2024. Yung tanong now, Attorney Lotok, is, what exactly did the respondents say on that day that resulted to the investigation?
On that online press conference held on November 23, 2024, the Vice President uttered the following. Huwag kang mag-alala, ma'am, sa security ko sapagkat may kinausap na akong tao. Ang sabi ko sa kanya, pag pinatay ako, patayin mo si BBM, si Lisa Marcos, si Martin Romualdez. No joke, no joke. Nagbilin na ako, ma'am. Ang sabi ko sa kanya, pag namatay ako, huwag kang tumigil hanggat hindi mo sila mapapatay. And he said yes.
Now, Attorney Lotok, no, yun yung statement. No? Now, sino ba yung mga membro ng investigation team na galing sa division mo, yung Cybercrime Division?
We have Attorney Van Angluben, the then Executive Officer for Operations ng Cybercrime Division. Attorney Vanessa Asuncion, the Executive Officer for Administration back then. John Mark Kalilong, the agent on case, and myself, Your Honor.
You mentioned Agent John Mark Kalilong,
Yes, Your Honor.
the same person who testified before you.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, Mr. Witness, how did your division commence the investigation?
I instructed the team, specifically Agent Kalilong, that for this particular case, we have to follow the 5 phases or stages of cybercrime investigation, sir.
So you instructed John Mark Kalilong to follow 4 stages of the investigation?
The team and John Mark Kalilong, sir.
Now, you mentioned, Attorney Lotok, yung 4 stages ng Cybercrime Division for the information ng ating honorable judges sa kanyang publiko. This is the question now. Ano ba yung 4 stages ng investigation na ito?
Yeah, Your Honor. For that particular case, first, the identification and preservation of the digital evidence, the collection and hashing of that same digital evidence. That's the second phase. The analysis and attribution phase, the third one. And then the legal evaluation and case filing as the final phase, sir.
So these are the 4 stages. Now, if you know, what was Agent Kalilong's response, and if any, sa naging instruction mo sa kanya na sundin yung 4 stages ng cybercrime investigation?
Well, he said yes, and then he proceeded to identify. He proceeded to identify and preserve.
Continue.
Identify and preserve the digital evidence in question, sir.
Now, You said and that you instructed Agent Kalilong to identify and preserve, na mention mo, digital evidence. Yung tanong now is, what is this evidence that you are referring to?
It refers to a certain video, Your Honor, involving an online press conference held on November 23, 2024, which was streamed through the Facebook page of one attorney Herminio Lopez Roque Jr. or Harry Roque, Your Honor.
So it was the Facebook page of Harry Roque who live streamed the video.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, now, Mr. Witness, after Agent Kalilong identified and preserved yung sinasabi mong video, which you said is the first stage of the investigation, ano yung nangyari after that kung meron man, tsaka kung alam mo?
Yes, Your Honor. The agent on case proceeded to collect that digital evidence and generated hash value on that digital evidence, and at the same time stored that in a data carrier, Your Honor.
Alam mo, Attorney Lotok, this is the first time na narinig natin yung term na hash value. And I think it's just proper na yung next question ko para malaman ng publiko, Attorney Lotok, ano ba yung hash value na yan?
Well, under the implementing rules and regulation of Republic Act 10175 or the Reorganization and Modernization Act of NBI, hash value refers to a mathematical algorithm applied to the information like the file, the physical disk, or the logical disk, in this case, the digital evidence, thereby creating a digital fingerprint or DNA for that information or digital evidence, Your Honor.
So to create a fingerprint for the video, is that what you're saying?
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, the video.
All right. Now, Mr. Witness, after the identification, preservation, collection, and hashing, so far these are the two stages, what happened next, if any, in relation to your investigation on the Vice President's statement?
We proceeded to the analysis and attribution phase.
Now, ano yung nangyari kung meron man, tsaka kung alam mo, in this analysis and attribution phase?
In the analysis, we established the intent, the motive, the capability of the Vice President to carry out the threat she mentioned, as well as we proceeded to identify the individuals present in that press conference on November 23, 2024, sir.
Okay, so sinabi mo, you proceeded to identify the different individuals in that video. Siguro yung publiko, they're now interested. So, what happened? What happened pagkatapos yung mag-proceed sa pag-identify sino ba yung nasa video na yan?
First, we have identified media personalities from Philippine Daily Inquirer, from the Manila Times, from the Reuters, SMNI, etc. And then we have also identified the Vice President herself, who in their presence, openly and publicly, uttered that she had already contracted a person to kill the President, Lisa Marcos, and the former Speaker of the House, and instructed the person to be relentless in killing the three. And it was streamed through the Facebook page again of Harry Roque, Your Honor.
You said to be relentless in the killing. Okay, now, after finding out that indeed the Vice President uttered that, to be relentless in the killing, what happened next, if any, in relation to the investigation you conducted?
We continued the open source investigation to determine if there were utterances made by the Vice President in previous dates, Your Honor.
Now, ano ba yung naging resulta kung meron man, tsaka kung alam mo, sa naging open source investigation ng NBI into sinasabi mong mga previous statements ng Vice President?
We have found a press conference dated October 18, 2024, streamed through the official Facebook page of the Office of the Vice President. And we were able to identify, for us, being the investigator, at least 3 material lines or utterances made by the Vice President, sir.
Okay. So you said in that press conference, sinabi mo you found 3 utterances or statements ng Vice President. Okay,
Among
now,
others, sir, yeah.
among others. So let's focus on these 3. Ano ba yung 3 statements na sinasabi mo?
Well, the first one, the Vice President uttered, gusto kong tanggalin yung ulo niya ba? And then the second one, the Vice President uttered, I realized toxic na itong relationship, referring to the relationship between the Vice President and the President. And then number 3, I imagine myself cutting his head.
Okay now.
Your Honor.
Recap, sinabi mo gusto kong tanggalin ng ulo niya. And then sinabi mo rin sa third, I imagine cutting his head. Based on your investigation, Attorney Lotok, kaninong ulo ba yung rinirefer ng Vice President na gusto niyang tanggalin?
The President of the Republic of the Philippines, sir.
Yung ulo ng Presidente ng Republika ng Pilipinas.
Opo.
What proof, if any, do you have that the Vice President said this?
We have that video, Your Honor, dated October 18, 2024.
Now, kung maalala mo, Mr. Witness, saang portion ng video na iyan maririnig yung Vice President, sinasabi yung mga katagang, gusto kong tanggalin yung ulo niya, imagine myself cutting his head.
Your Honor, if I may refer to my notes.
Your Honor, I move that.
Witness may do so.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, may co-counsel be allowed also to produce?
Yes, counsel for respondent may observe as the witness peruses his notes.
Your Honor, may we also be allowed to do the same through
Similar
Attorney
order
Stephen
with
Maganon?
respect to the counsel for the prosecutor.
Your Honor, from timestamps 1 hour, 35 minutes, and 57 seconds to 1 hour, 36 minutes, and 10 seconds. And then 1 hour, 36 minutes, and 52 seconds, and then 1 hour, 36 minutes, and 58 seconds.
Okay, so far, Your Honor, for the record, it's okay, Your Honor, please, sorry. The gentleman mentioned 2 timestamps. So question, if those portions, okay, are shown to you, will you be able to identify the same?
Yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor, at this juncture, Your Honor, please, the video has already been identified, marked and identified by our previous witness, and it is marked as Exhibit P-Roman numeral 4-11 for the prosecution. We move that these 2 portions with individual timestamps, as mentioned, be shown to this witness for his identification, Your Honor, please.
Where is the USB, counsel?
Your Honor, we move that we be allowed to unseal the marked exhibit, Your Honor, please, that was presented last time, Your Honor, please. It's with us. It's with the prosecution.
Kindly unseal the document in the presence of the counsel for respondent. Witness is instructed to unseal the USB. This has been previously marked. So after the unsealing, Counsel for the prosecutor and for the respondent are instructed to kindly accompany each other to the tech booth to make sure it is the same, one and the same USB that will be played. Kung may bala kayong buksan uli, huwag nyo na masyadong i-tape na madami. Para hindi masyadong matagal pag i-unseal.
For the record, this will be timestamps 1 hour 35 minutes to 57 seconds to 1 hour 36 minutes and 10 seconds for the first timestamp. For the first portion. And the second portion is from 1 hour 36 minutes to 52 seconds to 1 hour 36 minutes and 58 seconds.
Ayaw?
Gusto ko, ang galing yung ulo niya ba? I realized toxic na yung relationship.
There's one more counsel, right?
Yes, Your Honor. Waiting for the second video. Consisting of 6 seconds only, Your Honor, please.
Imagined myself cutting his head.
The Senate President,
thank you so
the
much,
presiding
Your Honor,
officer of the
please.
Impeachment Court, and the
May
senator
proceed, Your Honor,
judges.
Counsel may proceed.
Mr. Witness, what relation
The Sergeant at Arms is directed to make a proclamation.
All persons are commanded to keep silent under pain of penalty while the impeachment court is in session for the trial of Vice President Sara Zimmerman Duterte.
The impeachment trial of Vice President Sara Zimmerman Duterte is hereby called to order. We shall be led in prayer by Senator Judge Christopher Bongo.
Almighty and loving God, O Allah, we come before you today with humility, mindful of the solemn duty entrusted to us and the weight of the decisions that lie ahead. Grant us wisdom to discern what is right, courage to uphold the truth, and fairness in every judgment we make. Keep us from prejudice, anger, personal interest, and political pressure. Help us listen with patience, speak with honesty, and act according to conscience, the Constitution, and the welfare of the Filipino people. Gabayan ninyo kaming lahat ng may tungkulin sa mga pagdinig na ito. Naway, ang bawat panig ay mabigyan ng pagkakataong marinig, ang bawat ebidensya ay mapag-aralang mabuti, at ang bawat pasya ay nakabatay sa katotohanan, katarungan, at tamang proseso. Remind us that public office is a sacred trust. May we never lose sight of the people whose lives are affected by our words, our actions, and our decisions. Let the pursuit of truth strengthen our institutions and deepen our commitment to serve with integrity and compassion. Lord, bring healing to our nation. Where there is division, grant us understanding, patience, and unity. Where there is distrust, restore faith. Where there is fear and anger, give us calmness and restraint. When these proceedings are concluded, help us move forward together. Naway makabalik na kami sa aming pangunahing tungkulin, ang magserbisyo at maglingkod sa ating mga kababayan. Naway maituon naming muli ang aming buong pansin sa paglilingkod sa ating mga kababayan, lalo na sa mga higit na nangangailangan. Lastly, may the Philippine Senate remain united in fulfilling its role as the last bastion of democracy. Within these halls, may truth prevail and the true voice of the Filipinos be heard. May compassion for others be a steadfast virtue we live by in our words and in our actions. And may we, your senator judges, be instruments of your grace in the pursuit of peace, justice, and the common good. All this we ask in your holy name. Amen.
Amen. The clerk of court will now call the roll.
Roll call of members. Senator Judge Aquino. Senator Judge Cayetano Alan. Senator Judge Cayetano Pia. Senator Judge De La Rosa. Senator Judge Ejercito. Senator Judge Estrada. Senator Judge Go. Senator Judge Ontiveros. Senator Judge Lacson. Senator Judge Lapid. Senator Judge Legarda. Senator Judge Marcoleta. Senator Judge Marcos. Senator Judge Padilla. Senator Judge Pangilinan. Senator Judge Soto III. Senator Judge Tulfo Erwin. Senator Judge Tulfo Rafi. Senator Judge Villanueva. Senator Judge Villar Camille. Senator Judge Villar Mark. Senator Judge Zubiri. The presiding officer, Senator Judge Escudero. Senate President Gatchalian.
With 19 senators present, the chair declares the presence of the quorum.
With the permission of the body, if there are no objections, we dispense with the reading of the July 13, 2026 Journal of the Senate sitting as an impeachment court and shall consider the same as approved. The clerk will please call the case before the impeachment court.
Case number 004-2026 in the matter of impeachment trial of Vice President Sara Zimmerman Duterte.
appearances for the
Good
prosecution?
afternoon, Your Honors. Same appearance for the prosecution. We are ready, Your Honor.
For the respondent?
Good afternoon, Your Honors. Same appearance for the defense.
I see that Attorney Lotok is already situated in the witness
Yes, Your Honor.
stand. To remind you, Attorney Lotok, you shall continue with your testimony and be subjected to the continuation of cross-examination of counsel for respondent and shall be answering under the same oath that you took yesterday. Is that clear, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Respondent counsel may now continue with this cross-examination. Attorney Binduan, you are recognized and may proceed whenever you are ready.
Your Honor, before we proceed, may I request that counsel for the panel of prosecutors, Attorney Virgil Ligutan, be recognized once more for the examination of our second witness.
Counsel for the prosecutors, Attorney Ligutan is recognized on the part of the panel of prosecutors. Again, to reiterate, Attorney Binluan, when you are ready, you may proceed with the continuation of your cross-examination of the witness, Attorney Lotok.
Good afternoon, Attorney Lotok.
Good afternoon, sir.
So yesterday, you identified videos, correct?
Yes, sir.
And specifically, portions of the November 23, 2024 press con.
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, in that press con, VP Sara spoke about a lot of topics. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right. In other words,
Mr. Witness, kindly answer yes
Ye-
or no,
yes, sir.
and not simply say, mhm.
in other words,
Sorry, Your Honor.
she said many statements in that press con.
She said many statements, sir.
All right. My question is this. Do you know for sure that VP Sara's statements during that press con happened in real life?
In real life? Well,
Objection, Your Honor. Incompetent. The statements happening in real life as to the real life of the Vice President, this witness is being asked that question. Of course, the witness is incompetent, Your Honor, please.
If he
Counsel,
knows.
counsel, kindly reform. It seems the witness did not understand
Okay,
the
let
question
me
as well.
let me help you. I'm showing you also a portion of our exhibit D-1-145-A. This is the whole version of the video that the portions there that you identified yesterday. And particularly, I'll show you timestamp 51-07 or :07 onwards of the video. In this video, the Vice President mentioned about events that happened inside the Batasang Pambansa. Can we play that video, please?
Dapat sa demokrasya, there's a rule of law. And then they make rules as they go along. Whoever pleases the speaker, get her out of the House of Representatives kasi hindi siya dapat nandyan. Bakit? Pag mapay-ari niyo ba itong compound na ito, then sasabihin pa nila sa akin na there is a threat to my life inside the Batasang Pambansa? Why is there a threat to my life?
All right. My question to
Your
you
Honor,
is
Your
this.
Honor, point of clarification, if I may, Your Honor, please.
Counsel for the prosecutor is recognized.
Your Honor, there is a video that is marked in evidence capturing the events on November 23, 2024. And here we have the defense.
Your Honor, may we just note the objection, Your Honor?
Wait, I'm
This
explaining.
is not the time for lecture, Your Honor.
Counsel have not yet recognized. You'll let counsel for the prosecutor
Your Honor,
finish.
point of clarification. They are presenting a video with anecdotes. I'm now questioning the propriety of the defense presenting a video without laying the basis where this video came from, who is the source of those annotations thereto. Because, Your Honor, there's a video. They're confronting this witness with that video by presenting their own annotated, it's like a props, Your Honor, please. This is highly irregular in the court of law.
Counsel for the respondent, is this the video previously marked in evidence?
Your Honor, as I mentioned, we marked it in evidence as D-4-3, Your Honor. And this was also marked by the prosecution as their own. They have a separate
No.
marking for this, Your
No.
Honor.
This is part of the
No.
2 hour and so minute video.
Correct, Your Honor. At any rate, Your
Your
Honor,
Honor,
if I may be
Counsel
allowed
for
to
the
finish.
prosecutor, kindly hold on.
At any rate, Your Honor,
Counsel for the respondent.
Okay.
The chair is not yet done, and the annotation below the video, is that part of the marked video?
this is part, Your Honor, of a separate exhibit that is also part of the Articles of Impeachment, Annex G, Your Honor. This is Mr. Calilong's own transcription of the video, just to be clarified on
But
that
who
matter.
put it there?
We just placed it there, Your Honor. So we're making him identify actually the video as well as the appropriate transcription, which are both part of the Articles of Impeachment and Annex G9. Your
Presiding
Honor.
officer will allow it. Witness may answer.
So the question is, can you confirm for certain that these statements or any part thereof happened in real life?
Can you give me the timestamp, Your Honor, para ma-compare ko siya?
Timestamp 51-07.
Your Honor, if I may refer to my notes.
You may do so, sir.
Anong timestamp, sir?
5107.
To help this honorable court, Your Honor, it appears on page 84 or more or less of the Articles of Impeachment Annex G9, Your Honor. This is the transcription of Agent John Mark Calilong dated December 26, 2024. For the record, Your Honor.
Noted.
Pwede akong patingin na lang. Kulang ito. Timestamp 51.
Show it. Your Honor, in the interest of time, can we confront the witness with our own copy
Your own copy of what, counsel?
of the Articles of Impeachment Annex G9, Your Honor?
Well, assisting counsel for the prosecutor is there. If in case there are any problems, kindly confirm if indeed that is the document being shown to the witness.
Wala din siya.
Yeah.
Page 14. Page 14.
That is page 14 of the Affidavit of Transcription.
Page 14. Saan dito? This is page 14. Saan dyan?
Your Honor, I manifest that we are showing that specific portion on the transcript prepared by Agent Calilong of the NBI. But actually, Your Honor, even without consultation with the transcript, my answer is very simple. I'm just asking Your Honor. My question, I'm sorry, is very simple. My only question is, does he know for certain that these statements or any part of this statement happened in real life?
Your Honor, nabasa ko po rito sa copy ko, yung nandiyan dyan.
So do you confirm that the statements were made by the Vice President, Mr. Witness?
It's here in the transcription, Your Honor, yes.
No. My question is not whether she made the statement. My question is, if you know, based on your personal knowledge, if any statement or a portion thereof happened in real life. That's the question.
Well, Your Honor, the fact that we have the video on November 26, when the Vice President reiterated what she uttered in November 23, 2024.
Your Honor, I'm not even...
And at the same time, Your Honor,
The witness is in the process of
manifestation,
Allow the
answering.
witness to answer.
Your Honor, we invited the media personalities who have personal knowledge on that date and on that online press conference. And nung tinanong namin sila kung nag-participate sila, sabi nila yes, nakausap nila yung Vice Presidente, nagbigay sila ng mga katanungan. So definitely yes, nangyari po yun.
Your Honor, may you manifest, Your Honor, make a manifestation.
Yes, Counsel.
Your Honor, it appears that the witness is not being responsive to our question. He's talking about something that I did not ask. We are only focusing on this particular statement. We will show other statements later on. And we cannot get an answer from him if he knows.
Counsel, even I am confused with the question happened in real life. I think some of us are too.
I'll be more specific,
If
Your
the
Honor.
question is kung alam nyo bang totoong nangyari to sa totoong buhay, ang sagot ng testigo ay sa pagkakaalam niya ay oo, base sa kanilang investigasyon at sinabi ng mga inimbitahan nilang testigo.
All right. I'll clarify the question, Your
Kindly
Honor.
do so, Counsel.
All right. In this statement, for example, the Vice President said there were threats to my life inside the Batasang Pambansa. Are you confirming that?
That is within the
All right.
transcription here, sir.
Now, my question to you is this. Did you investigate those threats
Objection,
to VP
Your Honor.
Sara's June?
Okay now.
I'm not yet done.
All right,
Allowed-
sige.
I'm not
allowed-
yet done.
Yes,
Counsel,
yes. So.
Did you investigate the threat to VP Sara's life during that time?
Objection. Now, misleading, Your Honor.
What is it?
Because the question was, do you confirm that that statement is found in the transcription as to the Vice President saying that there were threats to her life? And then the witness said, yes, I confirm that I can find it in the transcription. Now, the next question of the good counsel is, so did you investigate the threats? That is the classic misleading question.
Can we get the
Assuming a
ruling,
fact.
Your Honor?
Counsel, he's a lawyer. Attorney Lotok is a lawyer and he knows exactly what's going on. Attorney Lotok, kindly answer.
Yes, Your Honor.
What's your answer?
What's the question, sir?
The question is, she mentioned there about the threats to his life. My question is simple. Did you investigate the threats to VP Sara's life during that time?
You mean during the live stream, sir?
During that time, correct. That during that live stream, she mentioned that there were threats to her life.
Well, based on our investigation, nangyari yung live stream between 11 p.m. 22 to 1 a.m. 23. And then nalaman namin through, nung kumalat siya sa social media, ng mga hapon na, kaya nag-start kami ng investigation. At that time, hindi pa namin alam yung buong laman ng video na yan kasi nag-start pa lang kami. So, I instructed Agent Kalilong na siya maging agent on case and then kunin niya yung video, the whole video para sa authentication.
Attorney
And
Lotok,
so far-
kindly answer the question directly. So I get from your long answer that the answer is no.
Specifically at that live stream moment, no, sir. Hindi pa
That
namin
was the
alam yun, sir.
question of Attorney Binluan. If you investigated at that time, so the answer is no.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
But-
Please proceed.
But later on, you said you did an investigation. So are you admitting that there were threats to the life of VP Sara?
Precisely, that's the reason why we sent a December 2, 2024 letter for VP Sara to shed light on our investigation.
All right, I'll move on to a different part of the video. On page also of Exhibit D-1-145-A, this now pertains to timestamp 5930 onwards of the video recording. So page 15 of the affidavit of transcription, also by Agent Kalilong of the NBI, dated December 26, 2024. Can we show that video and then provide the appropriate transcript? Can you play that again, please?
Yung speaker mo, pinabayaan mo siya abusuhin ang pera ng bayan. Paikot-ikot sa buong bansa, namimigay ng pera na para bang kanya yung pera. Eh di ba nga, lagi niyo sinasabi separation of powers? Anong trabaho ng legislative branch? Gumawa ng batas. Anong ginagawa ni Martin Romualdez? Nagdidirect ng DSWD, namimigay ng ayuda, nagsasabi kung anong bibigay, anong ibibigay, anong gagawin, sino ba ang presidente?
All right. So my question to you is this. Okay, having watched that video and read the transcript, my question is very simple. Do you know for sure if this statement by the Vice President or any part thereof happened in real life?
Well, Your Honor, as I've said, I've answered already. Nung inimbestigahan namin yan, yung video,
Your Honor,
nagsumping na kami
a
sa-
yes or no answer will suffice, Your Honor.
Kindly answer more directly to save on the court's time, Mr. Attorney Lotok.
Your Honor, based on our investigation, yes, it happens in the natural order of things. Nangyari talaga yan.
So in other words, you're admitting that Martin Romualdez goes around the country to distribute money?
I'm saying nangyari ho yung utterances na yan.
That's not my question. That's precisely my point. I'm not asking if she made the statements. I'm asking if the truth of these statements you have personal knowledge of. So be more direct in your answer.
That's why I have to object now, Your Honor. Now, there are several statements made, and then the witness is being asked, do you confirm these statements? Compound question. Exactly, that's the reason why we don't allow. There are so many statements, o sinasabi gumawa ng batas. So siguro yung tanong is this happen, did this happen in real life? So this witness being confronted with several statements, and he is being asked to answer a yes or no. That's why it's compound question.
Your Honor, my question is the statements or any part thereof, Your Honor. The witness is smart enough to answer. He can just clarify.
The objection, the objection is sustained, but not on that ground, but rather in the ground that the witness is incompetent to testify as to the truth of the matter stated by the Vice President. He can only testify as to the fact that those statements were made only as to tenor, but not as to the truth, given that he only investigated and was not there. You may proceed, counsel.
In that case, Your Honor, if we confront also, just a manifestation, Your Honor.
Yes, you may proceed.
In other words, Your Honor, we would like to manifest, Your Honor, based on that ruling of the court, that even if VP Sara said that she already talked to a person, then we cannot confirm the truth because this witness does not have personal knowledge.
That's a conclusion. Objection.
That's just a manifestation for the court's appreciation. Can I just proceed with
can
my
I make
next
a
question,
counter
Your Honor?
manifestation, Your Honor, please? Counter manifestation, please. To put into record, Your Honor, please.
For about 15 seconds, counsel,
Okay,
yes.
the defense is entitled to their own conception of things. They're entitled to their own imagination. That's all.
Counsel may proceed with his cross.
Just to belabor this point, Your Honor, Annex D-1-145-A. Anyway, Your Honor, they showed around 7 to 8 videos yesterday, so we'll show about 4. This pertains to timestamp 1-08-58, and we will also present page 17 of the affidavit of transcription, also by Agent Kalilong, dated December 26, 2024. In this video clip, the Vice President mentioned about the former Speaker of the House and the confidential funds of the Office of the President. Can we play that video?
Hindi ka nga tumadaan ng contest eh. Kasi wala kang kalaban sa Tacloban. Kasi binibili mo, pinapakidnap mo, inaharas mo ang mga kalaban mo. Hindi ka dumaan ng contest. Ang alam mo lang, kasi mayaman ka, bibilin ko lahat ng tao ng pera. Ipubriman mong tanan, kwarta na may inyo. There is nothing in you except money. Yan lang. Martin, harapin mo yung katotohanan. Walang senador man, vice president man, president man, walang mabuti sa'yo. Hindi ko nga alam kung mananalo ka pa ngayon sa Tacloban eh. Malamang hindi na. Sinong gusto sa lahat sa buong Pilipinas ang ibalik ka sa Kongreso? Hindi lahat ng tao pupunta yan doon sa Tacloban, mangangampanya yan sa kalaban mo. Kasi, magnanakaw ka. Hindi ka dumadaan sa audit. donation lang ng congressman. 1 million, 2 million, pirma lang. Alam nyo, bakit alam ko? Kasi may MA din ako. May MA ako sa DepEd, may MA ako sa OBP. Pero sa amin, sa akin, nire-require ako ng resibo ng COA. Pero alam ko, certification lang ang kailangan. Pero nagko-comply ako. Bigay nyo lahat ng resibo. Pero ikaw, pirma mo lang, hindi mo nga ata pirma yan, pirma lang ng staff mo yan. Milyon dyan sa Committee on Accounts, lumalabas ang pera. Pirma nyo lang. Walang nag-audit sa inyo. Sino ang nag-audit ng confidential funds ng Office of the President? Wala. Yan ang Pilipinas. Yan! Ang bagong Pilipinas. Kriminal ang speaker. Bakit ko nasabi kriminal siya? Basahin niyo yung kaso niya sa United States of America.
Okay na.
Sinungaling, Presidente.
Alright. Alright. Again, my question based on this video is very simple. She spoke about Speaker Martin Romualdez as well as the President. Can you confirm or do you know for sure that these statements about Martin Romualdez or the President are true?
Okay. Your Honor, I will object on the same ground, and I hope that the presiding officer will do the same ruling. This witness is incompetent. I know what the defense is doing, Your Honor. Objection. Incompetent. This witness is highly incompetent as to whether he knows whether those statements are in fact
What's the ground
happening.
for the objection? Can we just be informed of the ground for the objection?
I just said it. Incompetent. This witness
Can we
is
get the ruling,
incompetent.
Your Honor?
Chair made an earlier ruling already that the witness is incompetent to testify as to the truth of the matter. But since Attorney Lotok, you're a lawyer, I will give it this time to the counsel for the respondents. Kindly respond. Since you're a lawyer, you should know the proper answer to this question. Kindly respond to the question of counsel for respondent.
Again, I do not know personally about the factual circumstances. What I know is that she uttered those statements.
We're satisfied with that answer, no? Your Honor. One last
Proceed,
video.
counsel.
One last video. On page 87 of the Articles of Impeachment, Annex G9, this is timestamp 1-12-43. This is quite a lengthy video, but not as lengthy. But this is our last video, so we beg the court's indulgence. The affidavit of transcription, page 17, also of Agent Park Kalilong, dated December 26, 2024. Are we ready with that video?
Your Honor, to save...
Counsel for the prosecutors.
Because I know the counsel will ask the same question. So to save time, Your Honor, please, since the
Your
counsel...
Honor, what is
wait,
the
wait, wait.
objection?
I'm not yet done. I'm not yet done.
Kindly let
Relax.
the counsel for the prosecutor finish.
Relax. Now, Your Honor, if the same line of question will be asked, okay.
Your
the
Honor,
wait, I'm not
we
yet
cannot
done.
he cannot
I'm not
preempt,
yet
Your
done.
Honor.
I'm not yet done. The prosecution is willing to stipulate that, yes, the Vice President uttered that statement as to the fact of her uttering the statement.
We have a different question, Your Honor, just to satisfy his query.
All right.
So I guess the objection is withdrawn, or the manifestation is withdrawn, and counsel for respondent may proceed
Play the
with
video,
the
please.
showing of the playing of the video.
At nang kainin ko, buffet. Dito sa House of Representatives. Alak. Lahat. Lahat ng juice, lahat ng mamahaling wine. Pero yung taong bayan na pinamisan ninyo, ng 20 pesos, Arise? Yung taong bayan na hindi ninyo pinupuntahan sa mga komunidad nila, anong sabi nila? Asin lang okay na mi, anad naman mi ana. Ganyan ang bayan natin. Okay na lang kami sa asin. Saan ka nakahanap ng bayan na ang tao, because of their hopelessness, because there is no functioning government, umukay na lang sa asin. Buti na nga lang, abogado si Attorney Lopez eh. Kasi alam niya kung ano sasabihin niya doon sa mga pumasok sa kwarto niya. Na take note, nagnakaw pa ng cellphone. Saan ka nakahanap? Papasok ka, nanakawin mo yung cellphone, dadalhin mo pa yung tao. Diba? Princess, you're raising your hand.
Hello? Naririnig po ba ako, Princess Maui?
Yes.
Oh, thank you. Good morning po, Madam Vice President. Thank you so much nga po pala sa dala niyong hopya nung hearing na pumunta kayo for PRRD. Kami yung nasa likod niyo po, yung tinawag nilang bastos kasi pumalak pa kami because of Congresswoman Cardema. Thank you, ma'am. Nakakain kami. Ako po ay natatakot kumain ng pagkain doon baka mamaya. Ma'am, mag-iingat po kayo. Nasa teritoryo kayo ng kalaban.
Okay lang
Nag-aalala po kami
ma'am, kasi sila naman na eh. Sila talaga yung bastos eh. You reap what you sow.
Yeah. Mag-iingat po kayo kasi sa dinami-rami po ng inyong mga pasabog ngayong gabi, it seems like marami po talaga kayong alam about them, no? Dahil sa pagkakasama niyo sa kanila during the campaign and during the 2022 elections. Baka po mamaya kasi totoo yung mga naririnig namin or yung, I don't know if it's true, na meron daw silang Operation Romanovs and baka bala kayong ubusin ang inyong pamilya dahil hadlang kayo sa kanilang mga balakin in the future. So mag-iingat po kayo. Kami po kasi kami ng EDSA Friday crew, kami yung bumababa every Friday dyan sa EDSA because we believe yan yung tamang venue sa dinami-rami na ng problema natin. Ang kaya lang naman po namin gawin ay manawagan na bumaba na yan. Eh ano po kaya ang remedy naman ninyong mga nasa posisyon or ng mga kayang labanan itong napakarami na pong ginagawang korupsyon at krimen laban sa taong bayan? Ano po ang pwede nyo maging remedy para matapos na ito, lalo't nagsisigaw na po ang taong bayan na mag-people power na?
Yes. Huwag kang mag-alala, ma'am, sa security ko. Kasi may kinausap na ako na tao. Sinabi ko sa kanya, kapag pinatay ako, patayin mo si BBM, si Lisa Araneta, at si Martin Romualdez. No joke. No joke. Nagbilin na ako, ma'am. Pag namatay ako, sabi ko, huwag ka tumigil hanggang hindi mo mapatay sila. And then he said yes. So, alam mo, ma'am, yan ang lagi kong sinasabi sa Makabayan Block nung mayor pa ako. Ang laban, wala dyan sa EDSA, ma'am. Wala dyan sa mga highway. Ang laban, ma'am, nandun sa loob ng palasyo. Yan ang problema. We appreciate yung expression ninyo ng disgust, ng pagkamuhi, ng hopelessness, kasi it reflects kung ano yung nararamdaman ng marami, milyon Alam ko yan, ma'am. Kasi kahit saan ako pumunta, ako ang sinasabihan, binoto namin yan dahil sinabi mo, boto namin. So, yes, ma'am. Maraming salamat sa ginagawa ninyo. Dahil sa ginagawa ninyo, I'm sure nakikita yan ang taong bayan and na-appreciate nila yan. Marami sa ating mga kababayan ang gusto sumali sa inyo. Pero sa sobrang hirap ng buhay ngayon, hindi nila maiwanan yung mga trabaho nila at hanap buhay nila para pumunta sa daan. Bakit sila naghihirap? Bakit? Dahil sa gobyerno. Di ba dapat yung gobyerno natin ang nagpapagaan ng buhay ng tao? Bakit ang gobyerno natin ang nagpapahirap lalo sa tao? Kasi gusto ba nila lagi na lang mahirap ang mga tao para madali mapasunod? May mga lugar kami sa Mindanao na ganyan ang mga politiko. Gusto nila mahirap lahat. E bahugan lang nila og kwarta. Governor na sila, mayor na sila, congressman na sila. Hanapin niyo, ma'am, yung mga lugar na sobrang hirap sa Mindanao. Tingnan nyo anong gawain ng politiko. Pinapakain lang ng pera ang tao. Binabastos yung kanilang pagkatao dahil wala silang pakialam.
Attorney Lotok, she said a lot of statements in that portion of
Yes,
the
sir.
video. In fact, that statement included the statement which you investigated, correct?
Included in the transcription, sir. Yeah.
All right. Now you get the point. My question to you is this. Can you confirm now that the statement she made about BBM, FL, and the former speaker, and the congressman relating to various acts of corruption are true and happened in real life?
As to the existence of that utterances, yes, sir.
All right. So you just admitted that the congressmen are all corrupt.
As to
Okay,
the
thank you for that.
existence
Thank you
of
for that.
utterances,
Objection.
yes, sir.
That is a foul side remark.
She said
The
I wasn't
counsel
the one who
is
said it, Your
twisting
Honor.
the answer of the witness. If
the
I may,
witness
can I
was the one who
finish?
said yes.
Counsel
Can I
for the
finish?
parties, kindly settle down.
Can I finish?
The witness said that he confirmed as to the fact that the utterances were made.
That's why, Your Honor, I am objective.
Kindly be more specific. Attorney Lotok, you know what's being asked for.
Yes, sir.
Finish and complete your answer to avoid the misunderstanding.
Based on our investigation, as to the existence of that utterances, yeah, dahil may mga pieces of evidence kami. But whether or not nangyari yan, wala ho akong personal knowledge, sir.
All right. In the same way, you also do not have personal knowledge that VP Sara contracted an assassin, correct?
Your Honor, the video dated November 26, 2024, the Vice President reiterated.
It's
and in
answerable by
fact,
yes or
there
no, Your
was-
Honor. How can he be?
He's answering.
How can he be?
Counsels, kindly settle down. This is not a college debate. Attorney Lotok, the question was simple. Kindly answer the question directly.
Yes, sir.
You
That
do not
did-
have personal knowledge.
That utterances made by the Vice President that she contracted a person, I do believe that, sir, because of the pieces of evidence that we've gathered, sir.
No, I'm not asking whether or not she said those statements. I'm asking if you have personal knowledge based on this that the Vice President really contracted an assassin.
Ask and
Or,
answer.
a person.
Objection. Ask and answer. Second
Witness
time
will
around.
answer.
Based on our investigation, Your Honor, we do believe that the Vice
Attorney
President...
Lotok, the question was, do you have personal knowledge?
As to the fact of the utterances, and then when the Vice President reiterated that in
Attorney
November
Lotok, you're a
26,
smart
yes, sir.
man. Just answer the question. Do you have personal knowledge? You said that as to the other parts, you do not have personal knowledge. But now, my question to you is as to the part whether VP Sara talked to that person about BBM and FL and the speaker, do you have personal knowledge or not?
Pwede ko pong explain, Your Honor.
No,
please?
just answer the question, yes or no.
Your Honor, I
Attorney,
think
Attorney Lotok, this is not the first time you attended a trial. I'm sure counsel for the prosecutors and redirect will be able to clarify whatever you want to clarify. But in the meantime, answer the question of counsel for the respondent.
Yeah. We do believe that the Vice President had contracted, but I don't have personal knowledge. Kung personal knowledge ang gusto niyong malaman. Pero we do believe based on the evidence that we've gathered and based on our investigation.
Thank
may
you for
proceed,
that
counsel.
admission. All right. The press con was broadcasted to the general public, correct?
Social media, sir, yes.
In other words, everybody listening to it could hear the statements made by VP Sara.
We believe so, sir, yes.
Are you aware that the Vice President is a lawyer?
Yes, sir, of course.
That he has, of course, a law degree and passed the bar exams?
Yes, sir.
With a first attempt and with a rating of 80%, are you aware of this?
I heard it in the news, sir.
Oh, she has a higher grade than most of the lawyers here. But are you aware that she also worked as a
objection
court attorney?
relevance, Your Honor. Relevance. Objection
Counsel for the
relevance.
respondent, kindly avoid those
Yes.
We will comply, Your
disparaging
Honor.
statements, given that there are a lot of lawyers here and you don't know what their grades are.
We will comply, Your Honor. So my question to you is this. If she was serious about her alleged plan involving BBM, FL, and the former speaker, does it make sense for her that she would publicly announce this to the general public? If you know.
I don't know that, Your Honor.
All right. In fact, you showed in your direct examination, you also showed portions of the October 18 press con, correct?
Yes, sir.
And that press con was also done in general, before the general public, correct?
I believe so, sir.
All right. Based on your investigation or your experience as an investigator, kapag may balak bang patayin ng isang tao, sinasabi ba nila yung plano nila sa general public?
Well, kapag may grave threat, sir, naririnig yun ng ibang tao.
All right. My more important question to you is this. Did VP Sara directly say her statements to BBM, FL, and the former speaker?
Well, the fact na sinabi niya yan in public,
Again, Your
definitely,
Honor,
narinig
may we
yun
ask
ng
for a more
presidente.
responsive answer?
Attorney
That's the answer.
Lotok, kindly answer. The answer is actually quite obvious. It's a simple question. Did the Vice President utter those statements directly towards the persons allegedly threatened?
We believe so, Your Honor, because the utterances was made in public.
So what's the answer?
We
Did
believe so.
VP Sara directly say those statements to BBM, FL, and the former speaker?
Askan answered. He said, we believe so.
But we did not get the responsive answer, Your
That's
Honor.
the
Can we
answer. You
ask
didn't
the
get it.
witness to give a more responsive answer?
That's his answer. We believe so. Yes, that's a yes. That's so clear.
Without putting words into the mouth of the witness, I will be the one to ask. Attorney Lotok, you meant yes, right?
Yes, sir.
Proceed, counsel.
All right. Are you aware that in one interview following the press con, BBM mentioned that he was open for reconciliation with the Vice President?
I'm not aware of that.
Not
sir.
aware, okay. I'll make you aware today. Can we play D-4-12, please?
Mr. President, kayo po ba sa puso ninyo, gusto niyo bang makipagkasundo pa sa mga Duterte?
Oo. Ayoko ng gulo. Gusto ko makasundo sa lahat ng tao. Mas maganda, wala na. Marami na akong kaaway. Hindi ko kailangan ng kaaway. Kailangan ko kaibigan. Kagaya ng sabi ko sa'yo, pagka... Hindi ko... Magko-confess ako dito.
Pwede naman po, para akong pari po nito ngayon po.
Ewan ko, kahit hanggat maaari, ako, ang habol ko ay yung stability, peaceful, para magawa namin yung trabaho namin. Kaya ako, laging akong bukas sa ganyan. I'm always open to any approach na alika magtulungan tayo, di ba? Kahit hindi tayo magkasundo sa polisiya, hindi tayo magkasundo. Gawin niyo yung trabaho pero wag na tayong nanggugulo. Wag na natin tanggalin natin yung gulo.
All right. Attorney Lotok. So based on that video, BBM was open to reconcile with VP Sara, correct?
Anong date po ng video, sir?
We will provide the date in a while. They're researching on it. But even without the date, you can confirm.
Di, gusto kong malaman kung anong date, sir.
So you cannot answer the question without us providing the date of this
Tingnan ko
interview?
kung ilang buwan na yan after nung November 23.
All right.
Move on, counsel, while you're checking on the date. You can go back to that topic.
Now, assuming that this happened after, do you still maintain that BBM really believed in his mind that VP Sara would harm or kill him?
I mean, how would I know that, Your Honor?
Precisely. So you don't know. You cannot know that, Your Honor. Correct?
Yes.
Because you cannot enter the state of mind of the president. Are you admitting that?
Unless there is a basis, Your Honor, gaya ng investigation namin sa utterances ni VP na may mga circumstances. Pag yan lang ang nakita ko, siyempre hindi namin ma-establish yung state of mind ng presidente.
But isn't it in your affidavit of investigation, you mentioned about the state of mind of the president?
State of mind of the president based
Correct. After the statements of VP Sara, you interpreted the mind. It's like you went into the mind of the alleged offended parties, BBM, FL, and the speaker, and based on your own interpretation, you determined or concluded that they were threatened. Is that not the case?
Yeah, ang sinabi doon ng presidente, nakakabahala yung mga narinig natin itong mga nakaraang araw. And then isa itong kriminal na pagtatangka, ito'y aking papalagan. So at that moment, the president took the utterances serious and real, sir.
But you just based that on his own statement. You did not enter his state of mind, correct?
Objection, Your Honor. I think, where is this leading?
What's the objection?
A witness is being asked
What's
to
the
enter
basis for
state
the
of
objection,
mind.
Your Honor?
Kindly wait for the counsel for prosecutor to finish his
Incompetent, Your
objection.
Honor. Incompetent. The witness already said that based on their investigation, based on the statement of the president, after the event, he said that they determined that the president felt threatened. And the question now is, did you enter his state of mind? Your Honor, please, I think I'm now objecting on the reason that this person is incompetent to
Your
enter.
Honor, we will be satisfied with just the basis. If he had said incompetence, we would ask for a ruling already. He doesn't have to lecture, Your Honor, and for the record.
Kindly reform, counsel. I think I know where you're getting at.
All right. My question to you is this. Do you have background on forensic psychology?
No.
Do you have a background on behavioral psychology?
Well, we were taught about
Just
that
yes
subject
or no.
matter in
Just
the
a
academy.
yes
sir.
or no will do. Do you have a forensic psychology department in the NBI's cybercrime division?
Forensic psychology.
Yes.
We have BSD. We have medical legal department.
Medical
we
legal
have,
only. Okay.
We have psychiatrists.
All
We
right.
have psychologists. We have all of those, sir.
All right. In other words, you do not have a professional assessment of the mind of BBM when you conducted this affidavit of investigation, correct?
Okay, sir. The investigation, ganito po ang nangyari. Nung nag-comment yung presidente na nakakabahala yung mga utterances, pera lang ho doon, tiningnan namin yung comment ng iba't ibang government agencies na ganun din yung kanilang reaksyon, nakakabahala yung sinabi ng Vice Presidente, magiging issue yan ng national security. Pera lang ho yun, kinonsider din namin yung comments at impression ng mga media personalities na nag-participate doon sa online press conference. Sabi nila, na-shock sila, nabigla sila, hindi sila na parang totoo yung galit ng Vice President. And then aside from that, from those facts, ganun din ang ginawa namin sa former speaker. sa kanyang reaction. So taking all these facts and circumstances, na-establish namin na indeed yung reaction ng presidente is trinato niya na seryoso at totoo yung utterances na yon na ginawa ni VP Sara noong 23. So ito ho, yan lang dito, ipapakita nyo sa akin yan lang mag-isa, hindi namin nakita yung ibang circumstances. Hindi ho ako makakapagsabi kung sa mind ng presidente is pinatawad na ba niya, ayaw na niya, hindi na ba niya kinukonsider yung mga threat na yon. Pag ganyan lang, Your Honor, sa investigation kasi kailangan makita namin yung iba't ibang sirkumstansya para ma-establish namin whether or not, ito yung ibig niyang sabihin, ito yung intention niya.
For the record, Your Honor, the date of the video is May 19, 2025. So this came after
2025. So, mga 7 months, sir?
Yeah, 7 months. All right. So based on your experience as an investigator, baka pwedeng
Again, hindi sa sufficient hindi sa sufficient para makita namin kasi
anyway,
we know for a fact na
we're satisfied with your first answer.
The witness still answering?
Well, I didn't even ask a question, Your Honor.
You did, counsel, when you gave the date and asked for his opinion. Kindly finish your answer.
Thank you, Your Honor. We as lawyers, we know for a fact that the state of mind can manifest based on the overt acts of the speaker. So dito kasi, kung ito lang ang pagbabatayan namin, then we try to establish yung intent o yung state of mind ng presidente, kulang ho yan. So siguro kung may makikita pa kaming ibang circumstances na magpapatunay na binaliwala niya na yung utterances, pinatawad niya yung vice presidente, and things like that, then we can somehow said, mukha ngang totoo yung sinabi ng presidente na pinatawad na niya.
All right, but I'll move on to a different point.
Before counsel for the respondent continues, what is the pleasure of Senator Judge Cayetano?
Just one specific clarification on that point, just so that we don't lose the point.
The
With your
gentleman
permission,
may proceed.
President. Yeah. Excuse me lang sa prosecution and sa defense. Witness, one point lang, maybe one
Yes,
or
sir.
two questions on that
Yes,
point.
Your Honor.
Sabi mo, the President, sa pananaw mo, and yung iba, Speaker Martin felt threatened.
Base doon sa investigation namin, sir.
Base sa investigasyon at base sa video.
Base sa video, sa investigation, at sa ibang testimony.
So if they felt threatened, that means tingin nila totoo yung sinabi ni VP Sara na patayin sila. Kasi they wouldn't feel threatened if they don't think na she meant it, na patayin silang tatlo, right?
In our investigation, they trinato nila yung utterances as seryoso.
Yes,
At
so
banta ito.
they won't feel threatened unless tingin nila seryoso yung threat.
According to them, seryoso yung threat,
Yes,
sir.
okay. But the threat was, pag pinatay niyo ako, papatayin ko kayo. So kung hindi naman nila sila balak patayin, why would they feel threatened? Unless you're saying now, you think, balak nga nilang papatay si Vice President.
Actually, sir, ito, from the point of view of law enforcement like us, yun nga yung naging alarming na issue dun na sa amin, sir. Sa
No,
amin
I agree. I'm also, Mr. Witesa, I'm also alarmed with the language, with saying that. I'm alarmed with what's happening in our country, in flood control, etc. But that's not my point. My point is, in your investigation, para maging grave threat, kailangan yung party na trineten feels threatened. Pero ang sinabi ni VP Sara, pag pinatay ako, patayin silang tatlo. So kung wala naman silang tatlo balak na patayin siya, why would they feel threatened? Did that not come into your mind as an investigator?
What comes into your mind, Your Honor, is yun nga, yung possibility na God forbids may mangyari sa BP na hindi naman alam nung tatlo, then mati-trigger ngayon yung instruction, then papatayin yung tatlo na hindi naman nila alam. At the same time, may mga ibang grupo
Then in
na
that case, hindi ba logical, because you're the President of the Philippines, you order the PSC to make sure that walang mangyari sa kanya rather than baliktad na tinanggalan siya ng security.
Nung
I'm just following your logic. I won't
Yes,
I
sir.
won't argue. Finish your and I'm satisfied, Mr. President. I'm just trying to figure out nga how you came about yung gave threats given
Yeah.
ang sinabi niya kung papatayin ako. So
We-
finish your answer so that we can.
we qualify that grave threats sa term namin as event-based condition na yun nga pag nangyari yung event, magti-trigger ngayon yung threat ng Vice President. Now, insofar as na-threaten sila, yung sinasabi mo po, sir, na pag namatay si Vice President, tsaka papatayin ngayon ng tao na inutusan niya, yung tatlo, ang isa sa alarming, na very alarming part na nakita namin, yung mga sasakay ho na grupo po eh. Kasi, God forbid, pwedeng mawala ang Vice Presidente but not necessarily sila yung dahilan. Pwedeng namatay siya for one reason or the other. Then, ang impression na ng marami, ang may kasalanan nito, yung tatlo. So, again, magkakalabo-labo na yan. May sasakay na sa issue, thinking na pag pinatay nila yung tatlo, ang sisisihin ngayon yung kampo ni Vice Presidente kasi may attirances na ginawa ang Vice Presidente to that effect. So, yun ho yung sa investigation namin. Now, insofar as pumasok ho yung elements ng grave threats, yeah, we believe na pumasok yung elements ng grave threats kasi nasatisfy ho lahat ng elements ng grave threat based on the revised penal code.
I'm assessing your answer, but malayo na malapit yung sagot mo dun sa triggering events, ha? Kasi parang logical, di ba? Dahil sinabi niya yon, baka may gumawa. Hindi nga mag-trigger, papatay sa kanya. So para matrigger na patayin ang Pangulo, you're saying that VP Sara is asking other people to kill her so that they can kill Marcos. Di sana sinabi na lang niya patayin niyo si Marcos. Sabi mo i-trigger, but anyway, I'm trying to process, but hindi logical yung sinabi mo that event will trigger. Because the event that will trigger the assassination on the tree is the killing of the Vice President. And the Vice President will not tell people, kill me so that you kill them.
Precisely, Your Honor. Ang death kasi, for instance, mamatay yung Vice Presidente, it does not necessarily follow na yung tatlo yung lang papatay base doon sa attirances. Pwede kasing mamatay yung Vice Presidente for one reason or the other. And again, since walang makakalam kung sino ang pumatay dyan, ang impression ng mga tao ngayon, matitrigger ngayon yung instruction. Pag na-trigger yung instruction, pwede na ngayon sumakay yung iba-ibang grupo thinking na kahit mabulilyaso ang sisisihin dito, ang Vice Presidente. Kasi nga, may attirances na ginawa ang Vice Presidente in public. From the point of view of law enforcement, ang gulo nun, Your Honor, matter of national security po yun. It's a matter of national security, Your Honor.
Counsel for the respondent may proceed with his cross.
So just before I leave this point, at any rate, you made all those observations and conclusions without any background on forensic
What do you mean?
psychology, correct?
I don't have background for forensic
All right.
psychology.
Okay, that's enough. Now, I'll go on to a different point. Let's talk about the context of these statements. The press con included a question and answer portion.
Again, sir?
The press con included a question and answer portion.
Yes, I think so.
And the VP Sara statement, which you investigated, was an answer to a question that was asked during the press con.
Yes, sir.
And in fact, the focus of your investigation was VP Sara's answer, correct?
What kind of answer, sir?
Answer to the question asked in the press con.
Can you tell me the specific questions and the specific answers?
You were
sir?
the one who investigated it and you don't know the statement that you
Objection,
investigated.
I will
Marami yung
object vague.
question doon, maraming answers, sir. Saan po
Exactly.
doon ang tinutukoy
Objection
na?
vague.
Sustained. Kindly reform, counsel.
All right. In our exhibit D-1-145A, I will read the transcription. This is the transcription also by John Mark Kalilong, dated December 26, 2024. A certain Princess Maui asked,
Counsel may approach from both parties to assist the witness.
mag-iingat po kayo kasi sa dinami-rami ng pasabog ninyo ngayong gabi, it seems like marami po talaga kayong alam about them dahil sa pagkakasama ninyo sa kanila during the campaign and during the 2022 elections. Baka po mamaya kasi totoo yung mga naririnig namin, I don't know if it's true, na meron daw silang Operation Romanov and baka bala kayong ubusin ang inyong pamilya dahil hadlang kayo sa kanilang mga balak in the future. So mag-iingat po kayo. My question to you is this. Will you agree that based on this question by one Princess Maui, there was also a threat against VP Sara and her family, namely Operation Romanov?
Well, sabi ko nga, narinig ko yung term na Romanov nung binigkas yun ni Mayor Baste noong January during Maisog Rally. Other than that, wala ako kaming validated na about Romanov operation.
But you watched this video, correct? So you heard it also during that time.
Yan ho yung sabi ni Princess Maui, sir.
So you heard it.
Nag-invite kami kay Princess Maui, tinanong ko yung agent on case, kung nag-invite ba tayo kay Princess Maui, ang sabi ng agent on case, hindi raw siya nag-appear.
All right.
Kasi we want to clarify
With the
things.
permission of the counsel for the respondent, what is the pleasure of Senator Judge Rafi Tulfo?
Mr. Presiding Officer, kahapon kasi nabanggit ko yung Romanov and I did mention na para sa akin, nagmula yung salitang Romanov kay Mayor Baste Duterte when during a rally, yung sa Maisog in Davao. So, ang tanong ko ngayon kay Mr. Witness, matatanong pa ba kung ano yung sinabi ni Mayor Baste Duterte patungkol dun sa Romanov that night?
Yes, sir. I will try if
Can you
I
tell
remember
us?
it right. Ang sabi niya, Mr. President, sabi niya, remember what happened to the Romanovs. If I'm not mistaken, sir, parang ang sinasabi niya, kasi mayroong...
No, I think when you go to bed tonight, continue.
Yes, sir. Yan. Sabi ko yan.
Okay.
When you go to bed tonight, think about the Romanovs. Yung po yata yung pagkasabi. Parang sinasabi niya na baka mangyari sa pamilya niyo yon gaya ng nangyari sa inyo noong 1996. Kung tama yung memory ko, sir. Parang ganun po ang sinasabi ni Mayor Baste.
Kaya nga, Mr. Presiding Officer, nagtataka ako na binanggit yan ni Princess Maui doon sa press conference, sa online press conference ni VP Sara, yung Romanov na banta for Sara Duterte when in fact, it was Baste Duterte ang nabitaw ng salita na yon warning sa first family. So, which, Mr. Witness, para sa'yo, saan ba talaga yung Romanov nag-umpisa at sino ba talaga ang dapat mag-ingat doon sa banta na Romanov?
Yeah, insofar as our investigation is concerned, since nag-start yan doon kay Mayor Baste at wala ho kaming ma-validate na ibang Romanov operations na nangyari. I think nag-start yan sa kanila, sir, sa kapatid ng Vice Presidente.
Thank you, Mr. Witness. No other questions? Mr. Presiding Officer.
Noted, entered into the records, and counsel for the respondent may continue with this cross.
All right. So you mentioned that just now that Mayor Baste said, think about the Romanovs, correct?
Yan yung statement ni Mayor Baste, sir.
But I'm asking Operation Romanov eh. So hindi naman think about the Romanovs. My question to you is this.
With the permission of counsel for the respondent, Senator Tulfo seeks recognition again. What is the pleasure of Senator
Yeah,
Tulfo?
I just want to make it clear, Mr. Presiding Officer, na yung threat na yon, yung Romanov na salita, it was used to warn as a threat to the first family. The word Romanov came from the mouth of Mayor Baste Duterte, na para bang binabantaan niya yung first family. You follow me, Mr. Witness?
Yes, sir. Tama po yun.
Thank
Tama
you.
po yun.
Noted. Counsel may proceed.
Your Honor, that's my question. Can the witness be allowed to answer that question with a manifestation first before he allows?
Kindly repeat the question because even I forgot the question,
All right.
counsel.
You mentioned that Mayor Baste said that statement, think about the Romanovs, etc.
Yes, sir.
But he did not mention Operation Romanov. It was Princess Maui who mentioned the word Operation Romanov. And I know you don't have, I personally don't have any knowledge about what Mayor Baste said, and that is not the subject of this case. Let's just stick to the facts of this case. Okay, in the video, it was Princess Maui who said Operation Romanov. All right. Now, will you agree with me that based on that question, there was also a threat against VP Sara and her family? That's the question.
According to the question, sir, yes.
All right. Now, you mentioned yesterday that you can motu proprio investigate threats against the Vice President.
Under the law, sir, yes.
All right. My next question is very simple. Did you conduct a separate investigation on Operation Romanov?
Well, since ang focus ng operations namin, sir, is cybercrime investigation, I think ang makakasagot niyan yung intelligence service namin, sir. Insofar as the cybercrime division is concerned, ang focus namin, crimes committed by, through, and with the use of information and communication technology. As to the fact whether or not may Operation Romanov, ang makakasagot po niyan either yung intelligence service o yung director ho namin, sir.
So insofar as you are concerned, there is no ongoing investigation on Operation Romanov?
Again, ang focus ho ng investigation namin doon sa grave threat and then inciting to sedition against the Vice President, insofar as the existence of whether or not may Operation Romanov, siguro makakasagot niyan, sir, yung intelligence service, yung director ho namin.
All right. So no. At any rate, are you aware of if the Vice President was the target of unauthorized intelligence or surveillance operations?
I'm not aware, sir.
All right.
With the permission of counsel, Chair will recognize Senator Judge Pangilinan, thereafter Senator Judge Erwin Tulfo.
Just one or two quick questions.
You may proceed, sir.
On the issue of Princess Maui.
Opo.
And itong investigasyon na sinasabing inimbestigahan ba yung threat against the Vice President. Kung hypothetically dumating si Princess Maui at nagpaliwanag tungkol sa Operation Romanov at sinabi niya ang detalye,
Yes, sir.
kikilos ba ang
Definitely,
cybercrime?
sir. Definitely.
Ano ang gagawin ninyo kung nakuha ninyo yung ganong klaseng impormasyon?
We will validate the information first, sir.
Ang problema, sabi nga ninyo kanina, hindi nga humarap.
Opo, sir.
But as in any other case, kung may humarap at pinag-usapan at sinabi ganito yung threat, what is the standard operating procedure of the NBI?
We validate first the information, sir. And then pag confirm na, then we will start case build-up, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Senator Judge Erwin Tulfo, what is your pleasure, sir?
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer. Just want to direct my question to the witness here.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yung Romanov plot, well, aside from what Senator Judge Tulfo said, that came from Baste, but I picked it up doon sa video na pinalabas kanina ng defense,
Yes, Your Honor.
yung Romanov plot versus Sara, according to Princess Maui. Did you take that information seriously or not?
Yes, Your Honor. That's the reason why nung marinig namin o makita namin yung question ni Princess Maui about the Romanov, we conducted an open source investigation. Tinignan ho namin baka meron. Ayun nga, ang nakita namin yung January 2024 during Maisog Rally, if I'm not mistaken, na yung the word Romanov, ang nagbigkas ho nun si Mayor Baste, Your Honor.
All right. So, yung statement ni Princess Maui sa video, how do you rate that info? Sa inyo po sa NBI, sa mga intelligence agencies, yung mga informations po ninyo, may rating. Tama po ba? Correct me if I'm wrong here, Mr. Witness. For example, pag yung information po ninyo, pag yung information po na natanggap ninyo ay may mga rating po. A1, completely reliable. A2, completely reliable information, probably true. B1, usually reliable source, information confirmed. B2, usually reliable, information probably true, but needs validation. C1, fairly reliable source, information confirmed. C2, fairly reliable source, information needs validation. D to F, source is doubtful, unreliable, or reliability cannot be assessed. So, saan yun nilagay yung sinabi ni Princess Maui? Saan dito sa classification po na ito ng source of information? Is it A1, A2, B1, B2, C1 hanggang DF? Saan po? Kasi po ngayon, sir, napakarami na po mga impormasyon ng mga fake news.
Opo, sir. Sir, kung pwede na pong sumagot.
Go ahead po. Go ahead.
Sir, yung una po namin ginawa, we try to invite Princess Maui to shed light doon sa sinasabi nilang Romanov. Since hindi ho nag-appear si Princess Maui, wala ho kaming basis. So, classify muna namin ito na non-validated information. Naghanap kami sa open source. Yun nga, ang nakita namin, ang unang nagbigkas niyan, si Mayor Baste. So, medyo nakita namin, teka muna, parang baliktad yata ang sitwasyon. Kung kay Mayor Baste nagsimula ang Romanov, bakit dito ito yung tinatanong ni Princess Maui sa Vice Presidente? So, medyo it doesn't make sense, sir. Wala kaming na-validate since hindi nag-appear si Princess Maui. So, we classify the information as unvalidated
So,
information.
what you did, nung hindi mo ma-confirm yung kay Princess Maui information, naghanap ka ng
Opo.
counter source.
Yes, sir. Open source, sir.
Open source, okay, to validate.
Yes, sir.
And what happened to that source?
Yeah, based doon sa video na yon, January, if I'm not mistaken, yun nga, yung Maisog Rally, Your Honor, ang unang nagbanggit ng Romanov, si Mayor Baste, parang tinatakot niya yung presidente.
Okay,
Doon.
Mr. Witness, I'm running out of time. So, isa lang pong tanong ko. So, yung information po ni Princess Maui dun sa video, yung sinabi niya kay BP, hindi po reliable.
Hindi reliable insofar as the cybercrime division is concerned,
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer.
The interventions of the Senator Judge are noted. What is the pleasure of Senator Judge Villanueva?
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer, Mr. President. Just a very quick question on this particular topic, and I will no
Gentleman
longer.
may proceed.
Thank you, Mr. President. I will no longer dwell on the Operation Romanov, despite the fact that thank you to Senator Judge Rafi Tulfo who told me that about the dates, and I will not even mention or tackle the conditional threat. But I was looking at this NBI letter dated 2nd of December 2024, marked as Annex I. This is prosecution's P4-5 exhibit. Invited respondent Duterte to appear in connection with the investigation of the alleged grave threats. Mr. Witness, nakasaad din po dito sa sulat na iniimbestigahan ng NBI yung mga banta laban sa kanya at makakatulong po dito ang kanyang pagharap sa investigation. Tama po ba ito, Attorney?
Yes po, Your Honor. Tama po yan.
Dahil po hindi personal na pumunta ang ating Vice Presidente, ano po yung naging epekto nito sa investigasyon ninyo sa mga banta laban sa kanyang buhay? Gusto ko lang malaman, ipinagpatuloy nyo po ba ang investigasyon ng NBI? What is now the status of this investigation?
Yes, sir. Since yung second letter ng Vice President through her lawyer, may sinasabi doon na may threat sa life 6 months ago pa. So, nung trinay naming i-check yun, Your Honor, ang nakita lang naming relevant information as to the security, yung pagbabawas ho ng 75 PNP personnel from BPSPG, if I'm not mistaken. And then, I think transfer ho yata yung mga personnel na yan sa Manila. And then, when we check the record, yun nga, merong pang, based on the COA record, merong pang 335 more or less, if I'm not mistaken, na security personnel ang Vice Presidente. So, other than those facts, wala ho kaming makitang relevant na security issue. Dahil yun nga, hindi naman nag-appear ang ating Vice Presidente, hindi naman sila nagbigay ng any information na pwede namin pagsimulan po.
So after that, you did not pursue anymore the investigation on the threats against the Vice President?
Ang alam ko, ang aming intelligence service ay may monitoring na ginagawa from time to time.
I ask this question, Mr. Witness, and for the our people. Kasi ang hindi na po yung Operation Romanov, hindi na po itong conditional threat. Kung hindi, ito ba ay nabigyan ng accorded the same level of attention dun sa mga threats na inyong nakukuha gaya ng binabanggit natin na threat di umano ng ating Vice Presidente? Kasi ang tanong, hindi rin naman po nagpunta sa inyo ang Pangulo o ang Speaker of the House, and yet you pursued your investigation. So in that way, paano nyo may explain ito, Attorney Lotok,
Yes.
na ginawa nyo talaga yung lahat ng inyong magagawa para imbestigahan din yung threat laban sa pangalawang Pangulo?
Opo, Your Honor. Magkaiba po siya. Yung grave threats na inatter ng Vice President against the President, apparent po siya, Your Honor. Nakita po namin. Nasa video, inauthenticate namin yung video, nag-testify yung mga may personal knowledge na in fact sinabi niya yon. So, malinaw ho na nag-exist yung utterances na yon that qualifies the crime of grave threats. Dito ho, sa threat ng Vice Presidente, wala ho kaming ganong same na information na nakuha. Wala kaming apparent na mayroong threat against the life ng Vice Presidente. Kasi nga, hindi sila nagbigay ng specific information, hindi ho nagpakita ang Vice Presidente para mag-shed light doon sa investigation namin. So hindi ho namin siya makita na parehas. Magkaiba po yun. Ang sa Presidente, apparent siya. So definitely under the law, ang NBI can motu proprio undertake an investigation. Dito sa Vice Presidente, allegation siya. Wala kaming ma-validate na information. So hindi ho pa magti-trigger yung investigation doon. But I am sure, insofar as the intelligence service of the NBI is concerned, continuous ho yung monitoring yan at naghahanap po sila ng mga lead para masolidify yung information na yan.
Thank you, Mr. Witness. I know the law. Presidente, Vice Presidente, Speaker, pwede nyong tignan at imbestigahan yan. But I feel na importanteng maipakita natin sa taong bayan that same level of attention ang ibinigay po natin. At we also, if we need to walk the extra mile of investigating, we have to do it in the name of fairness. So, yun lang po yung nakita ko, and siguro yung sinasabi nyo nga po, hindi sumapat yung inyong mga nakalap na mga impormasyon, whether the information ay kulang or hindi kayo nagkaroon ng access sa mga information na to, kaya po hindi nagtuloy.
Opo, Your Honor. That is insofar as the Cybercrime Division is concerned.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr.
What is
President.
the pleasure of Senator Judge Lacson? Thank you, Senator Judge Villanueva.
I just want to pursue the point raised by Senator Judge Rapi Tulfo and the
The
others.
gentleman may proceed and he has 2 minutes.
I don't know about the other senator judges, pero until today, when Senator Judge Rapi Tulfo clarified
Opo.
na yung palang Oplan Romanov, a threat against the first family.
Yes, sir.
Ang impression ko since last week, nung pag-uusapan natin yung Oplan Romanov, a threat ito against the Vice President. And since sabi nyo, part ng investigation ninyo, open source, di ba?
Yes, sir. Opo.
Yung bang speech ni Mayor Baste Duterte sa Maisog, naging part ba ng open source nyo yun?
Part ng
In this particular investigation that you conducted?
Hindi po siya nag-form part as...
So kulang yung inyong open source information.
Hindi po kami nakafocus sa Romanov, Your
Okay.
Honor. Okay.
Was it also your impression na yung threat do sa Romanov was directed against VP Sara until today?
I don't...
Please be honest.
Yeah.
Don't be ashamed. No?
Yeah, I don't think so, Your Honor. Kasi unang-una, ang context ng Operation Romanov against the first family.
I know.
So it definitely against the President and his family, Your Honor. Ngayon, nung tinanong ho siya ni Princess Maui, doon nga kami nagtaka. Anong ibig sabihin ng Romanov? Anong context niya ng Romanov? Bakit against sa Vice President? Hindi naman sila yung first family. So, yun yung reason po, Your Honor, kung bakit we try to invite Princess Maui na shed us some light para makita namin ano bang ibig mong sabihin doon. Ano ba yung pwede namin i-validate na information para makapag-case build-up kami pag meron.
Yes. So bakit hindi naging part ng investigation nyo do sa threat against the life of the President and the First Lady, kasi family yung binabanggit ni Mayor Basten, di ba? Hindi kasama yung si Speaker Romualdez, hindi kasama yung Chief Justice.
Opo.
Di ba?
Yes, sir.
Pero threat against the family, the first family,
Yes, sir.
as mentioned by Senator Judge Rafi Tulfo.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, ang sabi mo, hindi naging part ng investigation nyo do sa inyong investigation report or sa affidavit of investigation, yung open source ng maisug.
Hindi po siya
speech.
nakasama. sir.
Bakit hindi napasama? Open source din yun eh. That could reinforce yung inyong theory o yung conclusion nyo na meron talagang serious threat against
The first family.
the President and the others. Bakit hindi nyo ginawang part do sa affidavit of investigation unless pareho tayo na impression na until today, ang alam natin sa Romanov, threat against BP Sara. Yun ang impression ko since last week, ha?
Yun ho
By the
yung,
way.
yun po yung impression namin nung hindi pa namin nakikita
That's
sa
exactly
open
my
source.
question, Attorney Lotok. So ngayon nyo rin lang na-realize na yung palang Oplan Romanov, threat pala sa First Family.
First family. Opo, Your Honor.
Oh, thank you.
Noted, entered into the records. I would have
Presiding
recognized
Officer.
Senator Go first, but since you're there already, Senator Judge Alan
It's
Cayetano,
just a
you may proceed, sir.
manifestation and point of information. As Senator Judge Lacson said, no, it's for each judge to appreciate. But let me put context, no. I'm not close to VP Sara. I'm not close to Mayor Baste. Ang kasama ko sa Congress si former Deputy Speaker Pulong. But in the last 4 years, I think I've seen him twice or thrice.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. But my reading nung sinabi ni Mayor Baste is pag natulog ka sa gabi, remember the Romanovs. So we have to look at our history. The Romanovs were evicted via a revolution. Diba? So, Mayor Baste was doing a parallel ng 1986 na paalis yung mga Marcoses via revolution. But unlike the Romanovs, the Marcoses were given asylum or whatever you call it in Hawaii, and over time, nakabalik until the president became president. Ang Romanovs, inubos sila para nga hindi makabalik. Now, if Mayor Baste was making Romanovs uubusin kayong Marcos, di dapat na-offend si Senator Judge Amy Marcos because she's a Marcos, no? So, secondly, if he made that threat, so if he was saying, may Oplan mo, Romanov or Romanov kayo, I'm sure the PNP or the Presidential Security Command, the National Council, would have filed a case against Baste. So I just want, it's fair that you mentioned him, it's fair sa investigation mo, but I don't think we should draw a conclusion here that Mayor Baste was threatening the first family because remember, there's a thin line between a warning and a threat. So pag sinabi ko sa iyo ngayon, witness, pareho tayong abogado, kompanyero, pareho tayong taga-Ateneo, mag-ingat ka sa sasabihin mo. That could be a fair warning. That could be not a threat, di ba? But kapag ka may threat talaga na pinarating ko sa iyo, pag hindi ko gusto ano mo, kakasuhan kita, that could be a illegal threat, di ba? Pero pwedeng warning. So I just want that on the record, Mr. Presiding Officer, Mr. Senate President, because everyone's watching, and in the same manner, we have to be fair to the first family. We have to be fair also to Mayor Baste and to the Dutertes, that rather than draw a conclusion that there was an actual. So the Counsel for Defense was making a distinction, mentioning Romanov and Oplan Romanov are two different things. It may be the same, it may be different thing. For all we know, narinig ni Mayor Baste na sila Romanov, kaya binanggit niya pa balik. We don't know. I don't know. I haven't discussed it with anyone. I haven't discussed it with the few senators na kaibigan ko dito. So let's just be circumspect and careful from making conclusions. But as far as it is relevant, Mr. Presiding Officer, I appreciate the answer of the witness. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Senator Go, thereafter, Senator Padilla. Senator Go, you have 2 minutes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer. Balik muna tayo dito sa ating bayan. Masyado nang malayo inaabot natin. To our Mr. Witness, some questions lang po, no?
Yes po, Your Honor.
Nabanggit nyo kahapon na 20 years na ho kayo sa NBI.
12 years, Your Honor.
Be specific, anong year po nakapasok?
2014, Your Honor. Nagsimula po ako from the NBI Academy.
2014?
2014. 12 years na po, Your Honor.
Hindi 20 years.
Hindi 20 years, Your Honor. 12, Your Honor.
12 years. So, kailan ho kayo nag-head ng cybercrime?
February 2023, Your Honor.
February of 2023. Maupay na adlaw pala.
Maupay po nga adlaw gyapon, sir.
And to our prosecutor.
Maayong hapon, sir. Maayong hapon.
Maupay na kulop.
Maupay man.
Kailan ho kayo naging RD?
July 2025, sir.
July 2025. So, naging cybercrime head kayo February of 2023.
Sir.
Before that, saan ho kayo na-assign?
Chief ng Digital Forensics, sir, 2022.
2020. Anyway. So, meron ho bang nag-recommend sa inyo or wala na, nag-apply lang kayo o sino
Ng ano po, sir?
Naging head kayo ng cybercrime?
As chief of the digital forensics, I was designated by the then director, Medardo J. De Lemos. Then as chief of the cybercrime division, I was also designated by the then director, Medardo J. De Lemos, sir.
2016 to 2022, saan kayo na-assign?
2016, I think anti-organized crime and transnational crime.
Up to 2020.
AOTCD, yun, Your Honor. Then 2018, nasa cybercrime division na po ako.
So hindi po kayo head doon?
Hindi pa, as an investigation agent po noong 2018, sir.
Anyway, nabanggit niyo po kanina about sworn affidavit. And then nabanggit niyo about journalists, no, na part nung press conference. Tama ho ba?
Yes, sir.
Marami sila, di ba? Marami
Opo.
nabanggit
Yes,
sa
Your
mga
Honor.
nakarang araw, including last week, di ba? Bakit ho ba, bakit po hindi kinuha ang sariling sworn affidavit ng mga journalists na personal na naroon po sa press conference? Sa halip ay affidavits po ng agents na naglalaman po ng inyong summary ng mga sinabi po ninyo. Bakit hindi nyo pinursige yung mga affidavits ng mga nandoon sa...
Yes, Your Honor. Nung nag-appear po yung mga media personalities na nag-participate nung online press conference at the November 23, 2024, may kasama ho silang lawyer, and then we want to them to execute an affidavit. Ang advice sa kanila ng lawyer, hindi na raw. Pwede lang sila mag-participate ng interview. Pwede sila mag-sign sa minutes at meeting. So hindi na po namin pinilit.
So wala hong journalists or mga vloggers na kasama po doon sa sworn affidavit? Wala ho. Sa
Kasi-
inyo lang, purely puro po ito sa
NBI,
magaling
sir.
sa NBI lang po.
Yes, sir. Kasi ayaw po ng lawyer nila na mag-execute sila ng affidavit.
Okay.
Pero may kasama po silang lawyer doon, sir.
Yung mga detalye pong nakasaad sa inyong affidavit tungkol sa naganap na press conference, galing ho ba ito sa personal knowledge ng mga agents o batay po sa sinabi ng mga journalists na nakausap po ng agents pagkatapos?
Yes, Your Honor. Q&A yung mode nung interview at nag-reflect ho yan doon sa minutes of meeting, and then nag-execute ng affidavit yung nag-interview na agent. So magkasama ho yung mga dokumento na yun, sir.
Mako-consider mo ba ito na second-hand account? Paano nyo masigurong naging actual ho yung pag-interpret ninyo sa mga sinabi?
Ano pong interpret, sir?
I mean, kung batay po ito sa second-hand account, paano nyo masisiguro na sakto, walang naidagdag, o hindi na misinterpret sa pagitan ng aktual na sinabi ng mga journalists at mga nakasulat sa inyong affidavit?
Yes, Your Honor. That's the reason why inauthenticate namin yung video mula simula hanggang sa matapos para hindi kami mawala sa tunay na nangyari. That's the reason why transcribe din ng ating agent on case kung ano laman ng video kung ano yung naging tanungan doon para hindi ko kami mawala sa investigasyon namin. And in fact, Your Honor, when we try to establish whether or not nag-utter ba talaga ang Vice Presidente na may kinausap na siyang tao para pumatay sa tatlo, na confirm namin ito nung November 26 video kasi ni-reiterate ng Vice Presidente, inadmit niya instead na sinabi niyang hindi ko sinabi yon. Sinabi niya nung November 26 na video na indeed may kinausap na siyang tao para pumatay doon sa tatlo. So, nabuo yung aming investigation na sa ang tawag po namin doon is admission against interest doon po sa ginawa ni Vice President during the November 26, 2024, sir.
Anyway, last question na lang po on sedition. No? How do you reconcile the fact that the Vice President discouraged her supporters from going to the streets with a claim of inciting to sedition?
Ano po yung, sorry.
On sedition charges, di ba?
Yes, sir.
How do you reconcile the fact that the Vice President discouraged her supporters from going to the streets with a claim of inciting to sedition?
Well, in inciting to sedition, Your Honor, specifically in the case of People versus Nabong, it is not necessary na magkaroon ng actual sedition. The law also penalizes if the seditious words would encourage people to do illegal acts or to overthrow government. In other words, if the speeches would stir up the people to go against the government, if the speeches would disturb the peace of the community, if the speeches would undermine public order and public security, hindi ho necessary na magkaroon ng actual na sedition. That's under the
Meron
law,
ho
sir.
bang nagawa yung Vice Presidente na yung gaya ng sinasabi niyo ngayon?
Nagawa pong inciting to sedition, sir? Based sa findings namin, sir, yes. Based po sa findings namin. Ganito po ang nangyari. Kinumpare po namin based on the content and context of the utterances made by the Vice President in November 23, 2024, the utterances made by the Vice President in October 18, 2024, then the utterances made by the Vice President in 26 November 2024, and other facts and circumstances. Nung trinay po namin i-compare siya, may nakita ko kami ng mga utterances that would stir up the people against the government. For example, Your Honor, nung October 18, ang sabi ng Vice Presidente, walang number 1 ang Pilipinas na to, hanggang number 2 lang to para sa akin. Wala itong number 1. Kinumpara ho namin nung November 23, ang sabi doon sa November 23, I do not recognize anybody above me. It's a reiteration dun sa kanyang sinabi. That's number 1, Your Honor. Then number 2, may sinabi siya noong October 18 na anong magagawa ko? Hindi marunong maging presidente yung nakaupo. Kasalanan ko ba yon? And then, November 23, kinumpara namin yon. Ang sabi niya doon, this country will go to hell because the person na nakaupo is hindi marunong maging presidente and who is a liar. So nakita namin yung pattern saka consistent na utterances. Then tinignan namin yung pangatlong line, ang sabi niya doon, alam ko si BBM may 5 impeachable offense, pero papasa ba dyan sa House? Siyempre hindi. Then pagdating sa November 23, sinabi naman niya doon na the President is lying through his teeth para makuha lang niya yung boto ng mga tao. Tapos minura niya sila, PI ka, BBM, Lisa Marcos, and former Speaker of the House. So, tiningnan namin, sino ba yung nagsasalita? Kung ang nagsasalita, Your Honor, is yung ikalawa sa pinakamataas na posisyon in public at yun yung kanyang utterances, definitely, Your Honor, there is a tendency to stir up the people against lawful government.
Kindly wind up, Senator Go.
No more question, Mr. Presiding Officer.
Thank you,
Salamat
Senator
po.
Judge
Salamat.
Go. Senator Judge Padilla intimated to the presiding officer that he will defer his questions to a later time. Counsel for the respondent, you may proceed with your cross-examination.
Just a manifestation, Your Honor, in relation to the query or the manifestation of Senator Judge Villanueva.
In relation to the query of
No,
Senator...
his manifestation, Your Honor.
No need, counsel. Proceed unless he asked you a question to save the court's time. Please proceed with your cross-examination.
All right. I'll just transform it into a question. You were
Yes,
asked
you
about
can.
that December 2, 2024 letter, correct?
December 2, yes, sir.
Oo. That is the letter where you gave a schedule for the Vice President to attend, correct?
Yeah, signed by our assistant
All
director.
right. But
sir.
the schedule that you gave was November 11, 2024 at 10 a.m. and then you gave the address. So in other words,
Sinabi ko na ho yan kahapon, typographical
okay,
error yun, sir.
my question naman is this if tama yung schedule sana at nakapunta si VP Sara, would it have affected your investigation?
Your Honor, even up till now, ready ho kaming tanggapin kung anumang information na threat against the life ng Presidente, continuous, ng Vice Presidente, continuous po yun. In fact, sabi ko nga kanina, yung intelligence service namin is may ginagawang monitoring from time to time dun sa threat to life against the Vice President, President, etc.
Okay, I'll move on to a new point. Now, let me show you a portion of the interview of Dempsey Reyes of the Philippine Daily Inquirer. Please direct your attention to paragraph 13 of the minutes of the meeting. This is also the transcription made by Agent Kalilong. Page 173 of Annex G9 as well. So, here, it says, may press con kasi earlier than that, sabi niya na parang sabi niya lang, gusto daw siyang patayin daw according to her ni Speaker. That was during a press conference the day before, November 2022. So, considering that this is part of the minutes of the meetings, this is also part of the NBI's own records, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, my question is this. Did you issue a subpoena against Speaker Martin Romualdez, former Speaker Martin Romualdez?
Did you issue a subpoena? Kay Speaker Romualdez, sir?
Yes.
Kasi, ba't ako mag-issue ng subpoena? Wala pa kaming sufficient na...
So what's you did not issue?
Hindi kami nag-issue,
All right.
sir.
So, in other words, for VP Sara, you issued not just one, but 2 subpoenas. But for the former speaker, you did not issue a subpoena. That's just a question.
There is an apparent commission of the crime for grave threats and inciting to sedition, sir.
I see. So, for this particular portion, you just turned a blind eye and did not issue.
Well,
anyway,
there is no validated information on that, sir.
Let the witness answer. There was a question.
Yeah, but based on
Counsel, kindly don't argue with the witness.
But based on your testimony yesterday, you said that you have a system of evaluating factors, correct? My question to you is, based on that system, does Martin Romualdez have the capacity to execute a death threat, for example?
We haven't established any apparent crime committed by the former speaker, Your Honor. So, hindi kami nag-delve dyan sa issue na yan.
Yeah, at any rate, this minutes of the meeting, which you all confirmed that is part of the NBI's own record, isn't this information regarding the death threat against VP Sara?
Well, ang sabi po dyan, if I may read my press con, kasi earlier than that, sabi niya, sabi lang niya, gusto daw siyang patayin daw, according to her, ni Speaker, that was during a press conference the day before. Precisely, Your Honor, the reason why we issued a letter noong November 22 is to ask the Vice President kung ano ho yung facts and circumstances dyan sa issue na yan. But since hindi ho nagabir ang Vice Presidente, wala ho talaga kaming mapagsimulan. Wala kaming validated information.
But you issued the subpoena against Dempsey Reyes, correct?
Yes, sir.
Pero ang tinanong nyo kay Dempsey Reyes, yung case lang against VP Sara. Hindi niya siya tinanong ng threats to her, correct?
Well, unang-una, ang ini-establish namin, ang focus ng investigation namin, the reason why we subpoena the late Dempsey Reyes is whether or not nag-utter ba yung Vice President doon sa statement niya na nag-contract na siya ng tao para patayin si BBM, si Lisa Marcos, at si former Speaker. Sir, yun po yung focus ng investigation namin.
So despite that track, you still maintain that this part of the investigation, you did not have bias?
We don't have bias.
Argumentative,
All right,
Your Honor.
I'll move on.
Argumentative.
I'll move on. Let's go back to the investigation that you did against VP Sara. So you mentioned yesterday that the offended parties in this case, if at all, are BBM, FL, and the former speaker, correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you subpoena any of them?
No, sir.
Did they appear before the NBI?
No, sir.
Nakausap nyo ba sila ng personal?
No, sir.
And yet, you concluded that they were victims of grave threats, correct?
Based on the evidence we've gathered, yes, sir.
So without any personal correspondences with them, you came to that conclusion,
The evidence is clear, sir.
according to you.
Oh, objection, Your Honor. I move
So-
that, oh, wait.
Counsel-
We cannot let this
No,
pass.
that's part
I
of-
move, Your Honor, that the defense counsel, with all due respect, be admonished from stating those unprofessional remarks. We are in front of national TV.
No,
That is his answer. If you are not satisfied with his answer, please don't lay any value to what the witness answered. Your Honor, may I move that the
This is a
counsel...
reminder. This is a reminder for counsel for both parties. Kindly avoid side remarks. Henceforth, the presiding officer will have it stricken off the record. And whatever question you pose and afterwards withdraw will likewise be stricken off from the record. So as to avoid any attempts at showmanship, usually seen on TV, yes, but will not be tolerated by this impeachment court. Counsels are so reminded.
We will comply, Your Honor.
Please proceed.
To clarify, Mr. Witness, yung NBI subpoena against VP Sara that you issued was her being a respondent, correct?
Yes, sir.
Pero as a complainant, you did not issue.
We issued a letter, sir, December
No.
2.
As the complainant na siya yung subject naman ng threats, walang subpoena as to that effect.
Walang sampina, sir.
So in other words, hindi talaga siya naka-explain kasi what you sent out was a letter and not a subpoena.
Yung letter is to inform the Vice President na iniimbestigahan din namin yung threat against the life niya. So therefore, kailangan namin yung presence niya or any information na pwedeng makatulong sa investigation.
Yun na nga, pero hindi niya siya sinenda ng subpoena. Isn't it that in a regular case, the prosecutor sends out a subpoena both to the complainant and to the respondent?
With the prosecutor, sir?
Yes. You're a lawyer, you know this.
What
When
do
you
you
file
mean,
a
sir?
case before the prosecutor's office, the handling prosecutor issues out sa subpoena sa parehong parties.
Ang
Tama?
alam ko, during the case sir, I think nag-appear yata ang Vice Presidente sa DOJ. Yan,
Alright.
doon ako na-inform. sir.
Okay, I'll move on to a new point. Let's talk about the reversal by the DOJ. Diba? There was a initial finding on February 5 and then it was eventually reversed. Now, would you agree with me that the rectifications that you made for the first affidavit of investigation were procedural deficiencies?
Procedural deficiencies.
Like the
No,
TSN?
it's part of the case build-up, Your Honor.
But what you added were TSNs, affidavits of your own agents, correct? Don't you consider that as...
Those were affidavits.
Yes, but don't you consider that those as procedural and not substantive?
Part of the evaluation and case build-up, yes, sir.
All right. But in effect, the substance of the case remained the same.
Walang nabago ho sa affidavit, sa una at sa pangalawa, parehas po yun.
Very good.
sir.
So in other words, wala kang no additional discussion on the merits of the case.
On the merits of the case, yung findings namin, hindi ho nabago
All
yun,
right.
sir.
Very good. So no additional witnesses were interviewed.
What do you mean interview, sir?
Wala nang additional interviews. Kung ano yung sa first affidavit nyo, yun na rin yung sa second affidavit. Wala nang additional interviewees.
Kung I think ang naalala ko 6 ho na media personalities ang na-interview namin at yun ho yung nag-reflect sa affidavit. At the same time, we tried to issue subpoena sa I think head ng ABS-CBN.
I understand that, but be more responsive.
Your Honor, if I may, the witness is still in the process of answering
Yeah,
his...
but
the
Your Honor,
question,
but the
and
answer
the-
is not
Exactly.
responsive. My question is very
Let him
simple.
finish first, with all due respect, Your Honor.
With the permission of the counsel for the parties. Attorney Lotok, the question was, sa pagitan ng una at pangalawang sinubmit ninyo sa DOJ, may mga testigo ba kayong dinagdag sa pangalawa niyong submission sa DOJ? O pareho din po yung mga testigo, nilakip lang yung mga affidavit na hindi na ilakip dun sa unang pag-submit?
Yeah, insofar as I'm concerned, Your Honor, parehas lang po.
Okay.
All right.
May proceed, counsel.
But we will never know that for sure because you never released your first affidavit of investigation, correct?
Well, I think it's in the DOJ. Ang binigay sa amin yung certification kung ano yung mga requirements na dapat namin i-comply.
Yeah, but what you attach, when you received the subpoena from the House Committee on Justice, which was used as the basis for the articles of impeachment, the first affidavit of investigation was never included, correct?
Yung nag-submit ho dyan, Your Honor, sila Agent Kalilong, wala akong idea
Hindi
doon
joke
sa...
lang. All right, that's okay. So, I have a question about the affidavit of investigation, okay? An affidavit, or I'll just be more specific, your second affidavit of investigation was subscribed and sworn to, correct?
Yes, sir.
On February 10, 2025.
Yes, sir.
All right. Before who?
Can I check, sir?
Sure.
Witness may consult
Thank you,
the document before him.
Your Honor.
Counsel for the parties may assist him.
Your Honor, we'll just confront him with our own...
Subscribe and sworn to before Assistant Director Glenn A. Ricarte. Sir.
All right. So do you remember that you subscribed along with the other agents before General Ricarte now?
Yes, sir. May signature kami rito.
All right. And you did this because the first affidavit of investigation cannot be altered anymore.
What do you mean, sir?
An affidavit, as you know, you are a lawyer. Once an affidavit is subscribed and sworn to, it is a complete document already.
Yeah.
Okay? Meaning, even if you take out one page or you add an annex, you already alter the meaning of that document. Will you agree with me?
Your Honor, the process is legal evaluation by the prosecutor and case build-up. So pag nakita ho ng prosecution...
Your Honor, I'm just
na-
talking about the nature of the affidavit. I'm not
Attorney
talking
Lotok,
about...
kindly answer the question. It's a general question pertaining to an affidavit in general, not this particular one.
Ano yung question,
Okay,
sir?
an affidavit, once you subscribe and swear to it, that already becomes a, if I may use the term, untouchable affidavit in such that you cannot take out one page, you cannot alter one paragraph, you cannot add annex.
Well, I think kung sinubmit niya na ho yan officially, halimbawa sa korte, hindi na ho pwede yan. Pero yung process ho namin, yung evaluation, tsaka case build-up, nag-uusap ho ang prosecutor tsaka yung investigator. So sinasabi ng pros, pag may kulang ka, ito. So itong unang affidavit, since may kulang sa mga attachment, ayusin nyo, baguhin nyo, i-comply nyo yung mga requirements. Since yung affidavit na yon is naka-date nung January 30 at magkukomply pa lang kami, anong na-comply namin, nag-submit kami sa DOJ and that is already February 10, 2025. So magkaiba ho yung date. So definitely babaguhin namin yung date. Kasi nga, dumaan kami sa process ng compliance based on...
Wait. In other words, when you
evaluation.
subscribed and sworn to your January 30, 2025 affidavit, you added documents or pages to it?
Ang sabi ko po, sir, ang sabi ng DOJ, may kulang kayong affidavit of authentication, may kulang kayong TSN. Yun ho yung inattach namin doon
Precisely.
sa affidavit.
So in other words, you added documents to your January 30, 2025 affidavit?
Attachment, sir. Attachment.
So you admit that you added attachments to it?
Part of compliance, doon sa case build-up, at doon sa evaluation na requirement
All right,
ng
but
Department
Mr.
of
Witness,
Justice.
isn't it
Your
that...
Honor, again, can I respectfully request
Your
through
Honor,
the presiding
may I
officer?
just be allowed to proceed, Your Honor?
Let me be allowed. Can I be
Counsel for the
allowed?
respondent, let the counsel for the prosecutors
Your Honor,
finish with this observation or objection.
Can I make a respectful request to the defense to let the witness finish the answer before they propound the next question, Your Honor, please? For orderly proceeding, Your Honor, please.
Point well taken. Counsel, please proceed accordingly. And may I also remind the witness, Attorney Lotok, kindly answer yes or no instead of yeah and nah.
Yes, sir. Sorry po.
So that it's
Your
clear
Honor.
for our records.
Yes,
You
Your
may
Honor.
proceed, counsel for the respondent.
So you admit that after you subscribe and swear to that January 30, 2025 affidavit, you added documents to it so that it will comply with the requirements of the DOJ. Is that what you're saying?
Attachment based on the requirement of the DOJ, sir.
All right, thank
Yun
you
ang
for that
nilagay namin.
admission. Just one last point on this. Can we flash affidavit of investigation? Can we flash page 1? This is page 13, Your Honor, of the AOI's Annex G9 for the benefit or for the guidance of this honorable court. The one that was flashed earlier.
Tech is instructed to do so.
All right, so this is the first page of the affidavit of investigation. Will you agree with me that this was not received by this particular document as is was not received by the DOJ?
I don't have personal knowledge. Ang inutusan ko po dyan, yung executive officers and agent on case na makipag-communicate sa Department of Justice.
But you are a co-signer of this, correct?
Yeah, insofar as the content of the affidavit.
All right. And so you mean to say that you didn't cause the filing of this case with the DOJ?
Inutusan ko po ang executive officers at si Agent
All right,
Kililong
but
na sila mag-process po na dalhin yung referral na yan sa Department of Justice, sir.
At any rate, you're smart enough
Okay na
to
po, ma'am.
peruse the first page and you can see that there's no received stamp appearing there too, correct?
Received from DOJ o by DOJ, sir?
By DOJ.
Again, ang makakasagot po niyan, yung nag-process niyan, si executive officer nga namin.
Yeah, but
at si
based
Agent
on
Kililong.
only-
Again, the witness still in the process of answering the question.
Counsel, take it easy. Let the witness complete his answer.
Okay, Your Honor. But based as it appears only, as it appears on this document, this is part of the records and also uploaded in the Senate website already last July 12 so that the public can peruse. Annex GGG, this is page 13. Based on this document and observation, can you notice any received stamp on this document?
Based on that document, wala hong
All right.
naka-stamped or received.
Precisely my point that was attached, if this was really received by the DOJ, there should have been an IDF, right? Or a transmittal letter attached to this.
Again, yung makakasagot po niyan, yung executive officers, Agent Kililong, and the prosecution, sir, kasi sila ang nag-uusap dyan. Sila ang nagdala ng dokumento na yan.
All right, I'll move on to a new point. Now, Article 4 of...
What is the pleasure of Senator Judge Pia Cayetano?
Mr. President, I wanted to take the floor before the defense went to another point, so I wouldn't interrupt his train of thought.
The lady has
also.
2 minutes and may proceed when she's ready.
Thank you, Mr. President. My question is actually addressed to both counsels and to the witness.
Yes, ma'am.
So the witness also happens to be a lawyer. 4 na abogado po tayo mag-uusap dito. Pero ang pakiusap ko, speak in layman's term because we want the public to understand. Very simple question. I want to understand your appreciation of the crime of grave threats. Okay? It sounds like a simple question, but when I look at the elements, so explain ko din sa mga nakikinig. Pag tinignan natin ang definition ng crime, nandiyan yung elements. So the prosecution must always prove yung elements of the crime. Ang question ko ay, in your appreciation, dapat ba na ang supposed victim nakaramdam talaga siya ng threats? Or is it enough that the general public considers the statement threatening? Okay, so is it personal or is it a general sentiment? Now, before I proceed, gusto ko magbigay ng example para maintindihan ng mga kababayan natin. Kung magkapit-bahay, nagkapikunan dun sa bakod, tapos sabi nung isa, bubulohin ko to. Is that a grave threat? Second example, 2 boksingero, nagkainitan, susuntukin kita. This is among 2 professional boxers. Is that a grave threat? Third example, police. Sabi, bubunutan ko to ng baril. Is that a grave threat? Maybe it's just offensive dahil sa professional, you shouldn't say that to a fellow police. And my fourth example is a senator. Pag sinabi niyang bibitbiting kita, kikwelyuhan kita, palalayasan kita, is that a grave threat? I'll add some details. If that is supposedly addressed to a fellow senator, and she is a female senator like me, na kahit na hindi naman isa hong kilalang runner, marathoner, but a non-violent person, is that a grave threat? Well, I'll just tell you my personal opinion and then I'll tell you now. I felt that was a grave threat. So, may I ask the counsel and the witness to now answer the question? Thank you.
If you may, Your Honor, please, yung prosecution po.
Senator Judge Pia, who do you want to answer first?
Good
In the
question.
order that you
Pag-iisipan ko
prefer.
ng matagal yan, Mr. President. I give you the decision on that one, Mr. President. Siguro prosecution kasi
Yes po.
sila naman ang kailangan mag-prove ng case nila. And then the witness and then the defense counsel.
Again, an admonition from the chair without stating conclusions of fact and law that again is reserved for the impeachment court. You may state your opinions with respect to the elements of the
Definitely.
crime of grave threat specifically identified
Yes.
by the senator judge.
And if I may, presiding officer, feel free to interrupt them if you feel that they have crossed the line, as I will. That's why I just
Opo,
want, I repeat my question, I want to understand your appreciation of the crime. You may, Mr. President, will we allow them to cite jurisprudence? I leave it up to you. I just
Opo.
want to understand the appreciation kasi.
Opo.
What do you think?
Doon sa particular pong katanungang yon ni Senator Judge Pia Cayetano na dapat ba may takot na naramdaman, correct me if I'm wrong, Senator Judge Pia,
Yes.
yung taong tinatakot o subject matter ng grave threats o pampublikong pagtanggap pa na nakakatakot yung mga sinabi niya laban dun sa taong tinatakot niya.
Siguro a simple yes or no with a very short explanation would
Opo.
suffice, Mr. Presiding Officer.
Attorney Ligutan, you have 2
Maraming
minutes,
salamat,
please.
Senator Pia Cayetano. Maraming salamat sa pagkakataon. Yung sagot sa tanong na iyan, yung sagot po ng prosecution, hindi po galing sa opinion ng aking mga kasama. Ito po ay isang decision. No less than the Supreme Court of the Philippines. It just so happened, Your Honors, as an answer, in answer po sa tanong ni Senator Pia Cayetano, may dalawang kaso na po yung Supreme Court. Yung isa is Paera versus People. Yung GR number, siguro yung mga law students, no? Mga law students. GR number 181626, May 30, 2011. The title is Paera versus People. Sinabi ng Supreme Court doon, wala pong batas na nagre-require na may private complainant. Ibig sabihin, hindi po required na yung biktima mag-execute ng affidavit upang yung akusado po pwedeng ma-found guilty ng grave threat. Paera versus People. But more than that, Your Honor, please, may isang kaso pa. No less than the Supreme Court in the Philippines. Sinabi doon, hindi po kailangan na yung recipient mismo nakaramdam ng takot or that sineryoso yung pagbabanta. Your Honor, to repeat, etong sinabi ng Supreme Court, all that needs to be proven is that they were intended by the accused to have that effects. Yung sagot sa tanong, hindi po galing sa prosecution, hindi po opinion, galing mismo sa Supreme Court of the Philippines, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you for that. So, Mr. President, can we now ask
If I may add, Senator Judge Pia, if I remember my memory aid correctly, there are only certain private crimes that need a private complainant, and most of these are personal crimes such as concubinage, adultery, seduction, abduction, rape, and acts of lasciviousness. Although these crimes are all entitled People of the Philippines versus the accused, without a private complainant, these crimes cannot be filed by the prosecutor in court without the cooperation or affidavit of the private complainant. Counsel for respondent will please reply to the query of Senator Judge Pia Cayetano. You also have 2 minutes, sir.
All right. I will try to avoid making conclusions of fact and law, Your Honor, but I will answer in light of the facts of this case and leave it up to the discretion of this honorable court.
Please, sir, you may proceed.
It is our position that the statements made by the Vice President were not threats in the first place. That's why we were categorizing it as response, a mere response to a Q&A. Number one. Number two, it was never aimed directly at BBM, FL, and the former speaker. In other words, had they not watched the video, for example, they wouldn't have known about it. So in other words, Your Honor, there was no threats to begin with. And so even the discussion on the elements is not really applicable insofar as determining the innocence or guilt of the Vice President. That is basically our position. That is one more thing. And practically, we maintain this position all throughout our pleadings. We never referred to that statement as threats. We always say that if at all, they were alleged threats. But we referred to the statements of the Vice President as statements, as responses. And even in my speech, that's what I said. It was a response, Your Honor. That would be all, Your Honor.
Noted.
you.
Attorney Lotok, your response to Senator Judge Pia's question based on your investigation. You may proceed, sir.
Yes, Your Honor. In establishing, Your Honor, whether or not the crime of grave threat exists, we follow the rule. First, whether there is an actus reus, and then second, whether there is a mens rea. So actus reus, Your Honor, means whether the offender in fact uttered the threatening remarks. We were able to establish that. That's why in-authenticate po ng NBI yung video na kung saan nandoon yung utterances. The test of mens rea, Your Honor, what we did, we interpret the utterances objectively and in the light of the circumstances in which they were uttered, in the manner in which those utterances were spoken, the person to whom they were addressed, the utterances were addressed, the relationship between the parties, meaning the offender and the recipients, and then the reactions of the recipients, whether they treat the utterances serious or real. But again, I would agree with what Attorney Ligutan said. In fact, ang basis po namin dyan, yung Garma versus People. Ang isa ho doon sa sinabi ng Garma versus People, hindi ho kailangan na ma-intimidate o itrato ng recipient na seryoso yung threat na yan. Ang sufficient na maipakita lang na yun yung intensyon ng offender, na ma-intimidate at i-treat na seryoso yung utterances or threatening remarks na ginawa niya. Yun po yung naging basihan po namin, Your Honor.
I hope that satisfies Senator Judge Pia Cayetano.
It actually does, but if I still have time, I have a follow-up question for all. Do I? Well, anyway, everyone went over time, so since my bell hasn't
No,
rung.
you don't, but you can ask your final question, Madam.
Yeah, just a quick follow-up. Siguro sa witness na lang. You mentioned the word threat, no? So can you just elaborate on that? What to you would be the difference between a threat and a threat and sorry, I don't know if you uttered the word that I want to ask you now, no, but you referred to threat, of course. What would be the difference between a mere warning and a threat?
I mean, warning on a threat, sir, ma'am.
At what point does a warning become a threat?
Well, Your Honor, if I'm going to based on our investigation, kung i-apply ko ho yung
Hindi na.
yung
You don't have to. Just asking you your legal opinion. You're a lawyer. He may answer. Is it not correct, Mr. President?
I think
If he knows.
just in my own opinion, although warning is maybe there is a what we call an event-based condition. Pwedeng ganon na pag inulit mo itong gagawin ko sa'yo. Pwede hong warning yon.
Di ba ganun din yung threat?
Yung threat, Your Honor, pag ang threat is with a condition, pwede ho siyang mag-fall ng ganon. Pag sinabi ng threat is, pag ginawa mo to, ito ang gagawin ko sa'yo. Papatayin kita. Papatayin ko yung pamilya mo. Papatayin ko yung ganyan. So para siyang nag-overlap, depende sa appreciation for us ng investigator, Your Honor. But insofar as the NBI Cybercrime Division is concerned, what we did is we established the elements of the grave threats based on the surrounding facts and circumstances, and then we conclude that indeed nag-violate ho ang ating Vice Presidente.
Attorney Lutok, warning in Filipino is babala.
Yes, opo.
Threat in Filipino is banta.
Yes, opo.
Kaya di ba, babala, bawal magtapon ng basura dito. Warning.
Pwede po yun, sir.
Di ba, ang tanong ni Senator Pia, kailan nagiging banta yun?
Well, depende sa konteksto siguro, Your Honor. May warning din po kasi na I warned you. Sasabi ko, pag inulit mo to, ito nang mangyayari sa'yo. May konteksto ho na ganun, Your Honor. Na somehow nag-overlap siya doon sa elements ng grave threats na conditional, na sinabi na pag ito ang nangyari, ito ang gagawin ko sa'yo. So, depende ho sa konteksto, Your Honor.
So depende sa konteksto, sa delivery, sa taas ng boses, gaano kagalit, may kapasidad,
Yes po.
maraming bagay.
Yes po, Your Honor.
Senator Judge Pia?
Yeah, so in other words,
Your witness?
it depends on the circumstances surrounding the incident or at the time that
Yes,
the
yes, ma'am.
utterance was made.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so laging contextual. Okay, maraming salamat sa lahat. I just want to emphasize na, Mr. Presiding Officer, I posted my question to each of the counsels and the witness precisely so that tayo masabihan na may bias. Isa lang yung binibigyan natin ng opportunity to explain their side. I really genuinely just wanted to know what their appreciation of the definition of grave threats is. Thank you so much.
We thank the good Senator Judge for intervention. All of the comments are noted. Counsel for the respondent. Proceed with your cross when you're ready.
All right. I'll move on to a new point. Now, Article 4 of the Articles of Impeachment against VP Sara deals with 3 accusations. Number 1, contracting for the assassination. Number 2, making grave threats. And number 3, actively inciting sedition. So, on page 28 of your affidavit of investigation, which is page 40 of Annex G9 again, you recommended only 1 count of inciting to sedition and 3 counts of grave threats. You confirm this?
Yes, sir.
All right. And the 3 counts was for 3 counts of grave threats were for BBM, FL, and the former speaker.
Yes, sir.
My next question is very simple. Did you include any charge relating to contracting for the assassination?
Relating to contracting for the assassination. No, sir. Yung charge
No.
namin is grave threats.
All right.
Inciting to sedition. And on that grave threat, doon ho pumasok yung appearances na may kinontrata ang Vice Presidente.
All right. So, pinagsama nyo na lahat even yung contracting assassin, sinama nyo na sa grave threats. According to you now.
You know ang basis ng
Alright.
grave threats namin.
All right. In fact, let's go to page 13 of the Affidavit of Investigations G9. We flashed it on the screen. There. It says, 1 count of inciting to sedition and, ano ba to? 3-1. So, 3 na 1 count of grave threats. So,
Typographical
ano to? Typo na. Alright,
that's
typographical error na naman. Alright, so with all these mga infirmities, and you mentioned yesterday that your case is airtight, don't you think that these errors constituted violations of due process?
Your Honor, the existence of these typographical errors does not alter the fact that the video exists, does not alter the fact that the Vice President uttered those statements, does not alter the fact na ang NBI mayroong findings at ang findings nila, the Vice President committed the crime of grave threats and inciting to sedition.
Okay. Now, inciting to sedition punishes someone who incites others to overthrow the government. Is that accurate?
Who incites others, who steers,
Now, it has been over 1.5 years since VP Sara's speech. My question is, has the government been overthrown following her speech?
Again, as I've said, as I've explained that, Your Honor, it is not necessary to be a
Your Honor, can we
seditious
ask that the witness answers in a more
Witness,
responsive
kindly,
manner?
Attorney Letok, kindly answer the question directly so that the court's time is not wasted.
Again, question, sir?
Has the government been overthrown following VP Sara's speech?
Not
Yes or no?
necessary, sir.
Huh?
No.
Okay.
It's not necessary, sir.
Has any agency or department of the government been overthrown following her speech?
Not necessary, sir. No.
All right. Now, I am showing you a news article entitled Palace Dismisses Destab Rumors versus Marcos Admin. This was marked as our D-4-66. If I may ask my co-counsel to confront the witness with
You may do
this.
so with the participation, if so desires, by assisting counsel for the prosecutors.
For the benefit of this honorable court as well as the people watching, we already also flashed that news article.
Okay.
So based on this article, you confirm that Claire Castro speaks on behalf of BBM.
I don't have personal knowledge
Don't
on
have personal.
that event, sir.
All right, that's okay. But based on her statement in this news article or title, do you confirm that there has been no destabilization efforts against BBM?
Again, I don't have personal knowledge on that statement made by Attorney Claire Castro.
Okay, that's okay. I'm showing you another recent article, June 12, 2026. This has been marked, Your Honor, as our D-4-67. Can we confront the witness and show also the document on screen?
Your Honor, before the good counsel proceed, can I make a manifestation? Again, these documents have yet to be authenticated. So for the record, it's like presenting these documents without proper basis and proper authentication, which I do believe should have been done before a witness is confronted with the documents.
Your
As
Honor-
per our, wait, I'm not yet done. As per our rules,
It's
Your Honor.
not an objection, counsel for the respondent. The remarks and comment of the counsel for prosecutors is noted. But counsel, for clarity, this is a pre-marked exhibit for the
Correct, Your
respondent.
Honor.
You may proceed, sir.
So again, based on this, just your basic reading of this, it says Sara Duterte, I won't grab Marcos's position. Is this news article consistent also with the previous article that no destabilization efforts are present against the government?
Again, I don't have personal knowledge, sir.
Can I make a counter manifestation, Your Honor? This is dated June 12, 2026, 2 years after the event. Manifestation, Your Honor, please. 2 years after the Vice President uttered the threats.
Noted. Counsel may proceed.
Okay, I want to talk about the discussion in your affidavit of investigation. I want to go through it very quickly, but The affidavit of investigation is also marked as our D-1-145-A. You mentioned in your affidavit of investigation the case of Garma versus People, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. And you cited the doctrine of this case, correct?
Yes, sir.
Were you the one who typed that portion in your revised affidavit of investigation?
Where I'm the one who typed?
Yes.
Being the chief, sir, inuutos ko
All
yung
right.
executive officers.
But
as,
did you read the case in full?
Yes, I think, pero not thoroughly.
Not thoroughly.
Isang basahan lang.
Now, did you read? Was there a video recording involved in that case?
No.
All right. Did that case include a public official like the vice president?
No, sir.
In fact, it involved a group of 3 farmers, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. Let's go to the case of Reyes versus People. You also cited that, page 29 of your affidavit of investigation. Did you read this case in full?
If I may check my affidavit,
Sure.
Your Honor.
The witness may do so.
Thank you, sir. Okay, sir.
Did you
Reyes
read
versus
this
People.
case in full?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you read the facts of this case?
I think it's about yung threat against a person nung nasa parang Navy official and then sinundan siya hanggang sa bahay. May dalang mga placard. Yun yata yun, sir.
All right,
If I'm not
but did it
mistaken.
involve a video recording?
No, sir.
Did it involve an official like the vice president?
No, sir.
You cited Ruwaza versus People, page 29. Did you read this case in full?
Ruwaza. Saan yung Ruwaza? Yes, sir.
You read the case. Did it involve, again, a video recording?
No, sir.
Did it involve a public official like the vice president?
No, sir.
In fact, it involved tree cutting activities. Do you confirm that?
Based on the
Tree cutting. Okay, but at any rate, in paragraph 48 of your affidavit of investigation, and I'll flash that on the screen, after citing all these cases that you mentioned, you concluded, and I will read, further, the threat is intended by VP Duterte to create to the mind of President BBM, FL, former House Speaker, that regardless of the reason of death of VP Duterte, they will be killed by the person contracted by her. So in other words, you spoke about the mind of BBM, FL, and the former Speaker, correct?
Your Honor, what we cited is the principle laid out by the Supreme Court and not the facts of those cases, Your Honor. And those principle is applicable in this case, Your Honor.
But that is based only on your own opinion, correct?
That is based on our investigation and the evidence that we've gathered, sir.
In fact, I have a different opinion than yours that I will show you.
Argumentative, Your Honor.
No. I'm
Argumentative.
Your Honor, I will introduce a new article.
Objection, argumentative. You don't argue with a witness. You ask question. If you're not satisfied with the answer, move on.
Then I will confront.
Attorney kindly allow the counsel for the respondent to finish his question.
Thank you, Your Honor. The opinion is not mine. This is the opinion of the late Juan Ponce Enrile, who served under BBM as Chief Presidential Legal Counsel. This has been marked as our Exhibit D-4-64. Can you flash that article? Just the title, since we don't have time. This is Juan Ponce Enrile. I'll just read the title. No criminal charge could be made versus Sara Duterte over kill remark. So isn't this opinion inconsistent with your own?
I don't have personal knowledge on that, sir.
All right, no personal knowledge again. That's okay. I'll be winding up. But do you know the difference between a felony and a crime? There's a
felony and
difference
crime.
between the two, correct?
Yeah, tell me, sir.
No, I don't. I'm not on the witness stand. So you answer the question.
Mr. Witness, kindly respond to the question. The question is, do you know? So it's answerable by a yes or no.
I think felony, sir, is in the revised penal code and a crime can be in the special law or
I agree
Parang
with you.
ganon, sir.
I agree. So in other words, like homicide, for example, It is a felony because it is defined and punished under the RPC, correct?
Yes, sir.
Clear. Now, a crime is broader than a felony in that it pertains to acts or omission that are not punishable under the RPC but punishable under special laws, correct?
Yes, sir.
Like BP 22, for example, it's not within the RPC, but it's covered by special laws, correct?
Your Honor, respectfully, can I now object as to the relevance to an impeachment case, the distinction between felony and a crime?
Just laying the basis, Your Honor, I'll go to that.
He's on cross. I will give you some leeway, but kindly get to your point, counsel.
All right,
On a
now,
short leash.
but do you confirm that there are felonies, there are crimes, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, now there are other high crimes, which is another category than felony or crime, correct?
Yes, sir.
And according to Article 4 of this Articles of Impeachment, there was high crimes that was charged against VP Sara, correct?
Yes, sir.
In other words, it is a different category than felony or crime, correct?
What do you mean by
High crimes, it's a different category than felony or crimes.
Well, there are may mga high crimes po, sir, na nasa revised penal code din, sir.
Can you give us an example?
Your Honor, I mean, is that a question, Your Honor, please?
If he knows, counsel.
If you know.
If he knows.
It's like a classroom recitation, Your Honor.
Attorney Lotok, you are very well aware of the fact that you are here as a witness in an impeachment proceeding and that the crime investigator is being used to charge the Vice President. And as a lawyer, you also are aware of Article 11 of the Constitution with respect to accountability of public officers. So if you know, you may answer. If you don't, you may say that you're not competent or that you do not know. So please respond.
Well, since kasi ho kayo nagbabasa, wala akong binabasa, nagre-rely ako sa memory. I cannot answer for now, Your Honor. I need to recheck the
It does not
the
reflect
books.
on your competence or knowledge of the law, Attorney Lotok. It's okay. You were not asked to prepare for this anyway.
Thank you, Your Honor.
These are questions on cross. So we're giving the counsel for respondents some leeway. Counsel, please proceed.
All right, my next question is very simple. Is grave threats a felony?
Grave threats, that's under the revised penal code? Yes, sir.
Exactly. So it is a felony because it is defined and punished by the RTC and it is punishable by arresto mayor or 1 month and 1 day to 6 months of imprisonment, correct?
Your Honor, again, objection. What's the relevance?
Your
as
Honor,
to the, wait, counsel, let me finish, please.
Allow him to finish, counsel.
Now,
Yes.
as to what is the penalty for grave threat? That's irrelevant as to the impeachment complaint that we are litigating, Your Honor, on the ground of relevance. Unless the counsel is able to prove the relevance, I will withdraw my objection, Your Honor, please.
This is
Show the connection, counsel. Again, you're on a short leash, but I know where you're getting at. Get to it, please.
All right. In other words, grave threats is under the jurisdiction of the MTC or RTC as the case may be, correct?
Grave threats?
Yes.
Yeah, yung pag grave threats lang, sir.
All right. It is even bailable, correct?
Pag grave threats lang, sir. Pero pag in relation to Section 6 of Republic Act 10175, that's 1 degree higher, sir.
Yeah, but does it change in jurisdiction or still with MTC or RTC?
Ano na ba yun, sir? Prison correction. Ano yun, sabi mo, sir? Ano yung prison correction na?
Arresto mayor.
Arresto mayor. Ang sunod na mas mataas po niyan is
Prison correctional.
prison
6
correctional.
months to 6 years.
Yeah.
All right. So, but either way, it's still under
Pasok siya
the
sa RTC, sir.
it's still under the trial courts. Correct.
Trial courts,
All right.
yeah.
My next question is very simple again. Is inciting to sedition a felony?
Under the revised penal code, yes, sir.
It's also under the jurisdiction of the trial courts, correct?
Yes, sir.
It's even bailable, correct?
Yes, sir.
So both grave threats and inciting to seditions are felonies, correct?
Yes, sir.
In other words, they are not impeachable offenses, if you know.
Well, if you mean by impeachable offenses, whether or not magka-qualify ba siya as betrayal of public trust, it's the appreciation of the judges. Your Honor, wala ho sa amin. Sa amin,
Appreciation of the judges, by that you mean the trial court judges, not the senator
no, since
judges,
impeachment to, yung impeachment court po.
Yeah, but there's a possibility that if it's in conflict with the trial court judge's decision, then we have a problem.
Objection,
right?
Your Honor, argumentative.
I will withdraw that.
Sustained.
Ang tanong niyo, hindi na.
Okay,
All right. Grave threats and inciting to sedition, you said that it is not high crimes, it is a felony.
Objection. The witness didn't say that. Misleading.
Misleading. Sustained.
All right,
Kindly reform, counsel.
I'll just move on to a new point, Your Honor.
Counsel may proceed. Senator Judge Rafi Tulfo is recognized for his intervention. You have 2 minutes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Judge. Napag-usapan rin lang itong inciting to sedition. Nag-file ka ng kasong inciting to sedition against BP Sara based on dun sa utterances niya, yung sa online press con, plus meron pa bang iba?
Yes po, Your Honor. Yung basis ho namin, una, yung utterances in October 18, 2024. And then kinumpara ho namin siya sa utterances in November 23.
Right. So,
2024.
meron bang elements of sedition doon sa mga utterances niyo?
Ang elements na ini-establish po namin, which is under the law, is whether or not the speeches would tend to steer the people against the government.
So how would you know kung mag-steer yun ng uprising o magkukumbinsi sa mga tao na mag-alsamasa base doon sa utterances ng BP Sara?
Yes, Your
How
Honor.
did you know?
Pangalawa, if I may explain, sir. Pangalawa po, yung if the speeches would tend to disturb the peace of the community, and if the speeches would tend to undermine public safety and public
So how would you know if it will tend to disturb or undermine the peace
Yes,
and
Your
order
Honor.
of the community? Paano mo malalaman?
The fact ho
Based
na
doon sa utterances niya.
The fact ho na nag-issue ng statement yung mga government agencies tasked to protect national security, at ang sabi ho nila, that's an active threat, that's an issue of national security. So definitely na-disturb ho yung ating...
How?
Well, nag-alala ho ang nasa gobyerno. Kami ho, per se, yung sabi ko kanina,
Nag-alala kayo o nag-alala yung taong bayan? Kasi iba yung nag-aalala kayo nasa gobyerno, kayo nag-imbestiga, versus nag-aalala yung nakarinig at yung mga at that time ay nagsusubaybay dun sa mga
Yes po.
sinasabi ng BP. So,
Nag-alala po ang taong bayan, definitely. Kasi
How?
marami ho. Well, marami ho kaming nakita sa news, sa comments ng social media.
comments. So that means you factored in yung comments and reactions sa social media doon sa ginawa niyang press conference, doon sa mga utterances niya, kung ano yung reaksyon ng mga netizens na nakapanood.
Yes po, Your Honor.
At ano naman yung mga sinabi doon?
Well, yun nga, yung iba nagwo-worry, ano na ba yung mangyayari sa bansa natin? Bakit magulo yung mga nasa taas? Yung iba nagsasabi, ano ba ito? Saan ba ito patungo?
So hindi pa rin seditious yun. Nag-worry lang sila saan patungo. Ang seditious is, tama ka dyan, BP Sara. Go tayo. Gawin natin yan. Nasa likod nyo kami. Yun yung sedition.
Meron nung ganon na comment din po, Your Honor.
Meron.
Meron po. In fact, doon
Ano yung
sa-
comment na yun? Kung meron.
Yung supporter po ng
Ano ang sinabi?
na yun nga, yung sa people power, yung sa nasa likod mo kami, kung ano yung
Nasa likod mo kami, people power. Nabanggit yun sa comment section.
sa ano, Your Honor, sa during interview with the Vice President doon sa November 23, 2024.
So meaning, binase mo, isa dun sa mga reasons kung bakit ka nagpa ng kasong sedition, BP Sara base sa kanyang utterances, dahil finactor in mo yung mga comments ng mga nakapanood.
Yes, sir.
Yung sinasabi mo supporters.
Opo, yes, sir.
Okay, kasi pag sinabi ng mga nagko-comments, nag-worry kami, I don't think nandun yung elements of sedition. Maliban na pag sinabi na nasa likod mo kami, let's do it, go, go, go.
Well, Your Honor,
Gagawin namin kung anong gusto mong gawin, things to that effect.
opo.
Was there? Were there
Meron na kami
comments like those?
meron na kami nakita sa mga Facebook comments, although hindi siya nasama,
Na?
na hindi siya nasama dito sa investigation.
At ano nga ulit, halimbawa?
Yung mga Facebook comments, Your Honor, na nagsasabi, lusubin na natin ang Malacanang, tapos may ganun na sign.
Lusubin na natin ang Malacanang.
Yun yung comments sa Facebook, yung mga nagko-comment.
At meron kang ebidensya tungkol dyan. Hindi mo to katang-isip lang.
Kung babalikan ko po, yun nga po ang sabi ko during those
Okay.
times, siyempre nagbabrowse kami.
Okay.
Nga lamang, hindi namin naisama sa authentication. Your
No further question, Your